it's time to get things started.
On the motivational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational, this is what we call the Keeler Show.
This is Keeler in the Morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Okay, we're finally here. We are finally here. It's Election Day.
Yes.
And which is going to mean an awful lot, to be honest with you. I mean, just in terms of just the stress of watching these commercials back to back over and over again. Crazy. I'm going to start, whenever there's something else like really out there, I'm going to start calling it KDILO. It's like KDILO.
Yeah, so she also went on to take a break from talking about herself to talking about Prop 1 and gave us all a lecture on what it is and what it isn't.
Right.
So there you go.
Well, there goes
some information on that.
There goes Proposition 1. If you wanted it to pass, she just blew it.
Prop 1 doesn't live here.
Most people would be like, oh, she's for it. Then I guess I'm against it.
I'm against it.
Okay. First of all, I just want to tell you, I have been in. You fight one battle and you forget you lose another. For instance, you quit smoking and what do? You
start snacking.
You start snacking.
Or
you gain weight,
more.
or you drink more, or you do whatever. So I've just with all of what has been going on, you want to eat something that makes you feel good, and I just right back up to my highest weight. So mark this date down. It is the 5th of November, 2024.
Yep.
And I yesterday started officially on my diet, and I want you to know that I'm back to I didn't want to do keto again because I just want to eat a normal diet, but I don't seem to be able to do that. I'm like, a normal diet is like, okay, I can have a piece of toast, which means I can have 10 of them.
Right.
I don't know. This just works better for me, the keto thing. So here we go. And in speaking to my doctor about, what I'm going through, they're okay with that diet. They say it's good. Now, the medicine that I'm on, people gain weight. They tend to gain weight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I just want to say, I'm off mic.
He just wants to say.
I just want to say, I plan to be very successful on this latest endeavor, this latest diet. I plan to lose maybe around 50 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd like to do that myself.
It probably won't be until springtime, but it'll take me a little while to get there.
I only need to lose about 30 for me not to look like disgusting.
I want to be able to go to Andrew's wedding not feeling like a pig.
Me too.
I also have all these clothes. I bought all these clothes that I'm like, I'm going to wear this when I lose my weight. That was like 5 years ago. Well, there's just, these clothes are just sitting there. They're out of style now, but I'm bound to wear them. Nonetheless, I just want to say, when this is all said and done and I am successful, because you get that feeling. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. You tomorrow I'm going to start the diet, and then all of a sudden it's the next day, and it's the next day, and you just don't follow it. You get in a groove, and I'm just telling you right now, as of right now, I'm in that groove. I'm in a groove. Yeah. So what I want to tell you is, when I lose the weight, don't go running around telling people I'm on Ozempic, because I'm not.
Well, why not? There's been plenty of people that have seen success with it.
There is, but I think Ozempic while it's important and can help people, I just know too many people that have lost the weight on it, and the minute they go off the medicine, I almost feel like you got to stay on that medicine.
Yeah,
but keto is the same way. But you can maintain if you're not an idiot with keto. And
I know what they say. They say, the only real solution is just living a healthier lifestyle and finding balance.
Well, to me, doing what I'm doing right now will be living a healthier lifestyle. So it would be a terrible thing if, I kicked cancer twice and then died of being fat or whatever goes with it.
Yeah,
but
right.
I just don't feel good. And it isn't because of anything else other than I'm eating poorly. So, and I'm this means a cocktail. Well, I'll have a cocktail tonight. That means I'm having a bowl of ice cream.
Yeah.
And then we'll add a little bit more by the time the night is over. So I'm cutting way back. But I just want to say this because if I am successful, which I'm quite confident that I will be, it will have nothing to do with any medicine. It'll be just pure
organic keto.
Horrible keto. And it is horrible.
Yeah, I'm just hoping I can fit into some of my clothes that I used to fit into.
Mike says, perhaps you could wire your jaw shut. You'll lose weight, and it may make many people around here happy.
That's awesome.
Thanks for that.
Couldn't get to it fast enough.
Today is Election Day. I also want to make some predictions. Are you ready?
Sure.
I couldn't make a prediction if my life depended on it. Trump has, there are moments that I say Trump cannot lose this. Then there are moments that I'm thinking there's no way Trump can win. She is going to win. There are moments that I'm thinking this is going to be dead close, very, very close. And other moments that it could be a blowout either way. I don't know what to, and a lot of it is because I don't know what to trust. I don't know if I can trust the polls, although we'll speak with John Zogby today, and he'll give us his latest number. I don't know, sometimes I think that there are people out there who won't answer polls, others who will answer deceitfully in order to send a poll in another direction. I'm just saying, I don't know what to think. Here we are, we're gonna go into this today thinking, wow, it's going to be the closest race ever. When we could be talking tomorrow about a major landslide.
Yeah, and polls are, they act on sample size, right? So it's, are you hitting the right amount of people?
Let me tell you. Let me just tell you this. We deal in polls in our career. We are rated.
I was just thinking this.
And we have been number one over and over again, and there ain't no way we're number one.
Yeah, I mean, those polls are definitely
give me a break. This show blows.
Oh, John in Bridgewater on Election Day saying, first vote cast in Bridgewater is John.
Here's the other part of this, just for the moment. Trump supporters have become like Yankees fans, and it's when you somebody asks you what do you think is going to happen, and you tell them, all of a sudden they become. If you say that Trump's not going to win, all of a sudden it's if you're in some conversation over. It's just ridiculous. It's just a prediction. I say I think it's going to be close. Oh, give me a break. Give me a break. Trump's going to crush her. Who is she? All she does is talk and giggle and laugh. and I don't see the same on the Kamala Harris side because honestly, I don't think they feel like they can win, to be honest. So I don't know where this is going, and I think it could be close. I think it could be a landslide.
I think
she could win. I think he could win. I think we could be waiting till Friday. I think we could know tonight fairly early.
We shall see.
I do not know what to think. On the there's one other area that I can tell you that I find interesting, and it's another where I'll be indecisive. I don't know what to think on the congressional race.
I know that'll be tricky. It'll be one of the most closely watched.
Brandon Williams and John Mannion have had a really tough race with the accusations back and forth. Now, Mannion should probably walk away with this with the redistricting. It leans Democrat. However, Oneida County is being called the battleground. And based on the way this is without Rome, it's almost even between Democrats and Republicans this time around. But I think there would be a slight edge for Brandon Williams in Oneida County. Everybody has discounted him, Brandon Williams. I say at this point, don't completely count him out. Let's see what happens. So I'm very indecisive today. Someone who is not indecisive, who knows exactly what's going to happen and can fill us in to make us all feel a little bit better.
You heard it here first.
Is Ryan Schmelz from Fox News Radio, the brilliant one, they call him, over at Fox. Good morning, brilliant one. Good morning.
You're too kind. You're too kind. I need the ego boost for today, though.
Well, listen, it's going to be a long day, I assume. But, again, do you have any I don't know if you heard what I was just saying, but I'm so indecisive on this. I think there are so many different scenarios where this could go. I don't know what to think.
Yeah, no, I think you're very, very accurate there. I mean, this is one of those elections, too, where the last couple ones, I think going into it, we had an idea who the favorite was and all that.
Yeah.
And in this one, there's each side has been very confident. They're acting confident when you talk to them. And sometimes you can tell when they're kind of BSing you, or they're maybe like it's false hope. But this one, it's actually kind of genuine. I think everyone thinks that Republicans will win the House, or Democrats will win the House, or the Republicans will win the presidency, Democrats will win the presidency. Both sides kind of are bullish, or they have a good reason to be bullish. You can really cherry pick any data out there and maybe say that, our side's winning or their side's winning. So I think this is a very unique election in that regard.
And it is so, you're right, it's so incredible. Like when you're watching, I watch the Sunday programs, and all of a sudden you see like a Kamala Harris supporter coming up, someone in the campaign, and they're like, clearly everything is skewing towards Kamala here in the last few days. She is really making some big gains. We expect a Kamala win. And then all of a sudden, a Trump guy comes on and says the exact same thing. So I don't know what to think out of all of this. Where do you feel we will? I mean, I would not be surprised if Republicans won the Senate and the Democrats squeaked out a win in the House. I also wouldn't be surprised if Republicans won both. Technically and traditionally, based on incumbency, during a rather difficult time where, inflation is high, it doesn't bode well for the incumbent. However, this is not an incumbent. This is an incumbent's vice president running against the former incumbent. So all bets are off here, I think.
Yeah, they certainly are. I mean, I think with the Senate, that's probably one of the more predictable ones, just because the map was never really in favor of Democrats. They have about maybe three realistic flip opportunities tonight, and those three opportunities are situations where the Democrat is the underdog going against an incumbent. That's Rick Scott, Ted Cruz, and then Deb Fischer in Nebraska, which was a surprisingly competitive race there. So you're looking at a situation where Republicans only need to flip 2 seats, and West Virginia is likely to go Republican since Joe Manchin's not running for re-election. That makes it 50-50. And then you look at a state like Montana as well as Ohio as ones that we could likely see the Republican winning in that situation. Those are probably the ones early on I would watch for as the opportunities for Republicans to make the Senate officially 51-49.
I do think the Ted Cruz race is closer than what I would have ever expected, but most likely he will win. Do you agree with that?
That's kind of the feeling. I think Republicans that I've been talking to about this race feel that while Colin Allred, and they feel like this with Ted Cruz every time, that no matter who he runs against, he's going to, that the person he runs against is going to raise money. They're going to get national attention. There's going to be focus on the race. But in this situation, they feel like that Colin Allred, the Democrat here, just didn't raise enough money and didn't make enough noise to really unseat Cruz. So while this race has gotten a lot of attention, they just feel that Allred has not done enough and that Cruz ultimately will still win.
I know you don't normally give your personal opinion, but I'm going to really push you to do that here right now. Are you ready? Before we let you go, Weren't you just sick to your stomach watching the Chiefs and Mahomes last night?
God, it was disgusting.
Yeah, that was a rough one. It's just because it's like I just don't feel like they look like a
They don't
Super
look
Bowl
good.
team. Like,
No.
like you watch them and it's like, this team doesn't terrify me. Like, if the Bills, the Ravens, or even the Steelers or the Texans, if one of those teams comes out hot against them and it's just on their A game, they can destroy them. But it's just the Chiefs just find these crazy ways to win games.
It's
and I mean, a lot of it has to do with the coaching, like Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo, and then of course Patrick Mahomes. I think that those three key factors always kind of find ways to get them to win, and they both all three deserve so much credit for that. But at the same time, it's just like, man, like this just doesn't feel like an undefeated Super Bowl team at all.
And you know what? It didn't last year. Yet look what happened. So, all right, Ryan. Listen, a lot of coffee today. Double, quad, octi espressos. That'll keep you going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Thanks so much. Thank you. Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio. Quick break, and we'll come right back.
I'm James Myers, candidate for state senate. Growing up, we didn't have much, like a lot of families who work hard to get by here in the Mohawk Valley. I joined the Army so that I could afford college, but service to our country taught me so much more. Like how important it is to keep our communities safe, to fully fund our police departments and emergency services, especially in rural areas. When I came home from active duty, I cared for my mom while she battled cancer. It was frustrating and complicated to get the care she needed. I wouldn't wish that struggle on anyone while they are also fighting for their life. I know our region badly needs better health care. I learned the value of service from the Army and the difference it can make in people's lives. And that's why I'm running for state senate, to serve the people, to work hard to make your life a little easier, a little safer. I'd be honored to have your vote. Paid for by Friends of James Myers.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your trusted tire experts. Throughout the entire month of November, take $100 off instantly on any 4 installed Bridgestone or Firestone tires, including popular winter tires like the Firestone Winter Force and the Bridgestone Blizzak. Whether you're in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, or Herkimer, their team of professionals is ready to serve you. Schedule your appointment today online at TallmansTires.com. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Get the best tires for your vehicle at unbeatable prices guaranteed.
Our nation is at a crossroads. In Albany, John Mannion and Kathy Hochul support radical policies like cashless bail, which releases violent criminals back into our communities. Worse, John Mannion and Kathy Hochul support defunding the police, taking officers and equipment off of the streets when we need them the most. Now, Mannion's running for Congress, threatening to take Hochul's terrible ideas to Washington, D.C. There's a better choice. Navy veteran Brandon Williams. A former nuclear submarine officer, Brandon Williams has a new mission, defending central New York from the Hochul-Mannion agenda. Unlike John Mannion, Brandon Williams knows how to keep our families safe. In Congress, he's secured millions for local law enforcement, giving cops the tools they need to keep violent criminals behind bars. On or before November 5th, vote for Navy veteran Brandon Williams for Congress.
I'm Brandon Williams, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Brandon for NY 22.
Are you sick of being just a number or doing a mindless job? Become a craftsman in a trade. Become an IBEW electrician. The IBEW and the Electrician Training Alliance will give you all the tools necessary at their state-of-the-art training facility. Earn as you learn. Paid training while you get your certification. What are you waiting for? Become an IBEW Local 43 electrician. Call or go online today to learn more. Find your career at IBEW and let the Electrician Training Alliance light up your future.
I'm James Myers, candidate for state senate. Growing up, we didn't have much, like a lot of families who work hard to get by here in the Mohawk Valley. I joined the Army so that I could afford college, but service to our country taught me so much more. Like how important it is to keep our communities safe, to fully fund our police departments and emergency services, especially in rural areas. When I came home from active duty, I cared for my mom while she battled cancer. It was frustrating and complicated to get the care she needed. I wouldn't wish that struggle on anyone while they are also fighting for their life. I know our region badly needs better health care. I learned the value of service from the Army and the difference it can make in people's lives. And that's why I'm running for state senate, to serve the people, to work hard to make your life a little easier, a little safer. I'd be honored to have your vote. Paid for by Friends of James Myers.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Good guy. Good guy. Hoo-yah. I'm on YouTube right now. Good morning. Boom. So you can watch on YouTube every morning. I hope you know that. And just search Keeler Livestream. Today, again, we're going to take a qualifier for our gas giveaway with Clifford. And it is Free Fuel Fridays.
Free Fuel Friday.
And we take a winner on the radio in the 7 o'clock hour. We take a winner on the app, which we will end up doing sometime today. But you have to download the app in order to be able to qualify. So if you haven't downloaded the app, you could win $500 in gasoline each week right on through Thanksgiving, which, by the way, is late this year, very late. I think Thanksgiving is on, the 28th or something?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Anyway, listen, this is all a great opportunity, and the 7 o'clock hour will give you that chance. But then, on top of that, download the app, and you may win the qualifier today just by downloading the app. Search WIBX 950 in Google Play or in the App Store. Download it to your phone, and voila. There you go. What else?
So I started to mention earlier John in Bridgewater claiming he's the first vote in Bridgewater
today.
And he said he voted Trump, Griffo, Miller, that un-American person, according to our fair governor.
Very nice. I'm a big Griffo and Miller fan.
Well, you're un-American,
John. So
you're un-American.
Okay, all right. I didn't see her exact quote, but I heard a lot of people talking about it. Let's see. Yep, Griffo Miller, very nice. First to cast a vote in. Yep, I hear that. And Lance and Lee, term limits must be a swear word on your show. What does that mean, Lance and Lee?
So there's prior comments. Somebody was hoping. Oh, so Kathy in Rome said she voted Trump, but that she had voted non-incumbent candidates the rest of the ballot because she was tired of people who were there too long.
Yeah.
So Lance agreed with her, and
you see, I don't. I'm not a term limits person, Lance. You should know that. I really believe that if we have been spit on, dumped on, ignored for so long.
On.
We're finally, give me a mask. We are finally in a situation where I think that we have some clout, and I think it helps our district, which gets ignored often. So I don't, and the other part is when you have someone with some clout, they understand the system. They don't make the stupid mistakes that somebody new makes. So I am not a term limits person. But Lance and Lee, and here's the thing I say to this, Lance. Someone like Griffo, that's probably who you're targeting, or maybe even Brian Miller, who's not been there that long, but with Griffo, he has a solid contention this year. This Myers is spending a ton of money. I mean, every other commercial we're playing today is a Myers commercial.
Yeah, you will hear it again.
He's spending a ton of money, and yet, if the outcome is Griffo tends to win big, the people elect him. So, and to have someone when
you're saying who are we to deny the vote?
Why deny the vote? I don't believe you should. Well, we shouldn't be allowing these people to vote this way. All right, well, that's what term limits is, in my opinion.
T in New Hartford. When I tried to enter on the app, it says already submitted. That's the Free Fuel Friday. So I don't know if somebody's previously submitted on the app has the ability to do it again, but we may have to look into that.
Okay, hold on. I want to bring up the app now, just so I know
Davy's
what I'm doing.
Got the answer, apparently.
You're on that, Mike?
I got a call in my little room. Supposedly, there's problems at the Parkway Senior Center in Utica with polling machines. There are long lines. There's problems with the polling machines at the Parkway Senior Center.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
Interesting. If anybody knows, I'd love to hear from them. 315 7360186.
Davey, you got to get those people on the air, man. Come on.
Okay, I see. Free Fuel Friday. I click on it. And, that's a beautiful Windsor design draw. Okay, so Free Fuel Friday. Here's how to get the $500. And I downloaded the app. I have the app.
Yep.
WIBX is teamed with Cliffs, blah, 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 blah. Now through the 22nd, we'll qualify 2 daily winners every Monday through Thursday. Each qualifier will automatically receive a $25 gift card. Here's how to enter. Listen every day, blah, 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 blah. You also have a second chance to enter online. Download our app, and, the app is, nonetheless. They ask for your name, your email, and your phone, and you can enter. Should I enter and just see if I get it?
See what happens. And then probably what will happen is if you're trying to do it weekly, right? So if you don't qualify last week for the Free Fuel Friday contest through our app, you should have the ability to go on this week and re-register for the chance to win. And apparently what T is saying is that when she tries, it says already submitted. So will her name be thrown in the hat to possibly be a qualifier this week for her chance?
Well, you'll have to ask Megan that question.
Yeah.
She would know, but
Megan, if you're listening, I just asked that question. If not, I will get in touch with our boss and see.
Hold on, I'm putting my name in here, but it's I see. I spelled my name wrong. Okay, I'm putting my name in. I think sometimes management doesn't even know who I am.
Right.
So I think I could win this thing.
You could.
They'll be like, "Oh, Bill Keeler."
Bill Keeler in Utica.
We're going to send it right to his house. Okay, I have signed up. It's really easy to sign up. It's very simple. So, but T, we will check on that because that would be crap if you can't do it every week.
We'll give you the T. And then finally, Deeds in New Hartford, wishing you all the success with your weight loss, Bill. Have you ever considered some light exercise regularly? It would help a ton.
I do.
Harder said than done, but I'd love to see you succeed.
I walk every day to the mailbox and back and back. Sometimes while walking back, I will skip. Just to mix it up a little bit.
Skip to my loo.
Sometimes I'm carrying a package, which is
quite heavy.
Which is resistance. You're carrying resistance, and that's it. I have a rower.
Yeah, you got one of those nice water ones.
Beautiful one. Yeah.
How have you used it yet?
I've never used it.
Has anyone ever used it?
My wife.
Oh,
Do you have your big boom box on your side when you're walking to the mailbox listening to your 80s songs?
No, it's a transistor radio that I put on my
clip on the belt.
Makes me look bigger. Okay, do you want me to take any of these people?
Yes, please.
Line number 1. Here is the mayor of Utica, Mike Galimi. Mike, good morning, and happy Election Day to you.
Well, hello, Bill, Andrew, and Davey.
Mike Galimi has a cold.
Hello, Stefan. Boy, impersonating the mayor. There you go.
Now, I'm going to be going out to vote this morning, and I can't say who I'm voting for.
Yes, you can.
Me in the voting booth.
You can say it. Come on.
What if we give you $5? It's kind of like the Elon Musk thing. We're going to pay you to have you tell us.
No, thank you.
No, thanks.
Do you remember that time, your first time voting? Everybody remembers their first time voting.
Yeah, mine was absentee.
Stefan, can you tell us about your first time voting?
Yeah, I believe it was early 2000s, and it was the old type of voting booth where you pulled the lever and it had the curtains, and I was on the phone with someone talking about
me. You were on the phone with me. How could you forget that? We were on the air. We were live on the air.
That.
And then what happened?
And then I got kicked out of the voting booth.
He did.
Oh, I'm shocked.
Stefan talks a little loud.
Yeah.
And
so he was on the phone.
He was on the phone with me, and the woman said, opened the curtain on him and said, there'll be none of this, out of here, and kicked him out.
So basically violated his constitutional right.
Totally.
Wow.
Yeah, completely. I can't remember. I can't believe you don't remember that it was me you were talking to.
I remember.
Okay. All right. I remember. Okay. Well, who are you voting for today?
Can't say yet.
He tried to trick you.
What about the local races? You can tell us that.
As you were talking about earlier, I'm against term limit.
Okay.
So I'm going to vote for people that are new on the ballot.
Okay, so you're for term limits. So you're voting. How could you vote against Griffo?
You're going to vote against Griffo?
I don't know, but
well, all right.
I feel like we're doing something dirty here.
No, we're not. No.
I think we're doing something bad.
Listen, we're not. I've got him voting for that woman, that third-party woman for president.
Well, Matt and Holland Patton has you as the write-in for president. So
write me in. Write me in, Stefan. Write me in. Okay, so you don't have to tell us, but it seems like you're going down that road where you're just going to vote for different people. Mm-hmm. People you don't even know.
Yeah.
He's bringing the bingo dabber into the polling booth.
All right, well, good luck, and let's see what happens, okay?
Yes, we will. It'll be a big night, hopefully, and I can't wait to see the results tonight or tomorrow morning.
Okay, all right, Stefan, thanks.
You're welcome.
Hold on 1 second here. Do you mind holding for one moment?
Sure.
All right, let me bring in Lucia. Lucia, did you hear Stefan's got to vote against Griffo?
Yes, I picked it up in 2 seconds, but you know what?
Yeah, I mean, what do you say to him?
So many people to vote for Griffo, their vote doesn't count. But he might change his mind on the way. He might think about it. He's a smart guy. He might change his mind, you know?
You can't say that his vote... Stefan, are you there?
Yeah. He might change his mind.
But you can't say that his vote doesn't count.
No, wait a minute. I don't mean literally it doesn't count what he's going to do. But what I mean is I got so many people to vote for Griffo, and they want to, willing, they love it. Immediately, when you say you're going to vote for Joe Griffo, absolutely.
Yeah. What she's saying
is... one person I ran into who said with an attitude, maybe, unbelievable.
She's saying that for every... She's saying that
the only one who can do it.
Yeah.
There is nobody.
Let me... do you want to give... I will have you campaign for whoever it is you feel Stefan should vote for. See if you can change his mind going into the booth.
But really quickly...
but all of them. Ready, go.
Well, if you love your country, you love what's bad is what's been going on. 4 years of nothing, then you vote for that person. If you want somebody who's really incredible, it's Joe Griffo there.
Okay.
On the Republican line, they're phenomenal. That's what you got to do. Right. I don't mean you, sir. I cannot make you do anything when you're inside there. Do whatever you want. But that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
For sure, guaranteed. We have 4 years of nothing. We haven't gotten anywhere.
Okay.
Look where you are. And look where we're going to be.
Stefan, has she influenced your vote at all?
No, she hasn't. But good luck with exercising your right, and we agree to disagree.
Wow, this is America right here.
Yeah,
it is
America.
It is America.
It's America. All right, Stefan, thank you, and say goodbye.
Bye, Bill.
And good luck,
right,
and don't talk to anyone while you're voting today.
Just keep your head down.
All right?
Okay.
And then call tomorrow and let us know who you voted for.
That's right. Okay. Thank you. All right. Okay, Lucia, I've got 30
Bill,
seconds here. Thank
when
you.
I voted, I didn't talk to anybody. Believe me, nobody.
Oh, no, you can't.
I did the right thing. So good luck. We can do it. We're doing it. Joe Griff was the man.
Okay.
Yeah, and what Lucia was saying was that for every one Stefan vote, there was 300 Lucia-inspired votes. That's all she was saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm me. I say what I got to say. I say from my heart. I believe in it 1,000 billion percent.
Yep.
And nobody can derail me. There is nobody alive. Nobody. So, good luck. And Bill, next time you run, I'm going to vote you, okay?
All right, please.
I'm going to
Yes,
you and vote
please.
for you.
What I
Ciao.
need is,
Bye.
yes, thank you.
Ciao.
Bye-bye now. There goes Lucia. And she has voted, and she knows she's very dedicated as to who she would like to win, period.
Correct.
Okay, we have John Zogby, and we'll get the latest. Here we are on Election Day. Where are we? What does John think? Free money question also coming up next hour.
It's not stopping. The lies and mudslinging just keep coming.
It's time to tune out the negativity. We're educators who know John Mannion. Trust him. This guy gets it.
He spent 25 years in the classroom, inspiring students for a generation.
He took that spirit to the state senate, fighting for us, delivering record education funding. 50,000 jobs right here with the Micron Project. Record middle-class tax cuts. All while protecting our freedoms.
In Congress, he'll lower costs for our families, protect Social Security and Medicare, and stand up to extremists.
So the next time you see some angry ads and grainy video, tune them out. Take it from real educators. John Mannion will have our back. He always has. Vote John Mannion by November 5th. Common ground over chaos.
Paid for by NY Common Ground, nycommonground.com. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. NY Common Ground is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Let's set the record straight with Marianne Buttonshot. 1. Despite attack ads against her, featuring childish cartoons with lies and inappropriate distortions, she has refused to get mean and dirty. 2. Despite what you might have been told, she does not rubber stamp any politician, including the governor and New York City elites. She works with members of both parties, and she's fought to bring over $100 million to the Mohawk Valley. And 3, she's absolutely against taxpayer dollars being handed over to politicians so they can run for office. Her opponent took over $120,000 in taxpayer funds, much of it used to distort Marianne's record. And how much did Marianne take? 0, because she believes it's wrong. Assemblywoman Buttonshot supports our businesses, first responders, and veterans, a career educator delivering to all schools, and she's a farmer who supports other farmers. Vote for Marianne. Paid for by friends of Marianne Buttonshot and not the taxpayers of New York State.
Joe Griffo is there when we need him. No matter how big or small the issue, Joe makes a difference. He has the clout in Albany to get things done, and that's huge for all of us. As Assistant Minority Leader, Joe's helped secure over $1 billion for roads, bridges, and schools, and investments like the Odd, Wynn Hospital, and high-tech jobs at Griffiths and Marcy. We're coming back because Joe Griffo has our back. This fall, vote to re-elect Senator Joe Griffo because Joe gets things done.
This is Senator Joe Griffo, and our recent progress is amazing. But there's so much more to be done to keep the momentum going, whether it's delivering critical aid for infrastructure in schools or supporting small business. I'll keep the pressure on Governor Hochul and the New York City majority to reverse our dangerous bail laws and to stop the flow of illegal immigrants. It's time to give law enforcement the tools that they need to keep us safe. I'm Senator Joe Griffo. I appreciate your support, and I'm asking for your vote. Paid for by Friends of Joe Griffo 2024.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome. W295EI. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. A Town Square media station.
The polls are just opening in 17 more states. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, including the toss-up state of Michigan, where early this morning there was one last Trump rally in Grand Rapids.
Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago?
The former president also went to North Carolina and Pennsylvania, where the polls are just opening now.
We have the ball. It's ours to win. The only thing I ask is that you go out and vote.
The former president will vote later today in Florida, but as people vote now in 25 states in all, many won't go to the polls, like Vice President Harris, who's among the more than 82 million Americans who voted early.
In the most consequential election of our lifetime, and the momentum is on our side.
Vice President Harris in her last rally late last night in Philadelphia after campaigning across Pennsylvania like in Allentown.
Our campaign has tapped into the ambitions and the aspirations and the dreams of the American people. We are optimistic.
Also on ballots today across the country, control of Congress. All the House seats up for grabs, some in the Senate.
Although Democrats narrowly control it 51-49. Republicans are favored to take control next year. This will determine which party holds the majority and power to support or block the next president's agenda. Now, Democrats do need to win a handful of House seats to gain party control from Republicans.
Fox's Dana Marie McNichol in Georgia, where the polls are also just opening now. Abortion rights on the ballots in 10 states, including Arizona and Nevada, where the presidential races are close. The Boeing strike is over. 59% of picketing workers approved the new contract offer on day 53 of the walkout, overruling those opposed.
I didn't like the threats that they made to us, on this contract to vote yes on it, or else they're going to start taking stuff away.
Workers can return as soon as tomorrow, restarting airplane production that had been shut down for Boeing. America's listening to Fox News.
The big wireless companies want you to overpay for data that you don't need, but you don't have to settle for that with Pure Talk. Well, you get to choose how much data that you actually want. And for $25 a month, you'll get unlimited talk, unlimited text. You're going to get mobile hotspot, 5 gigs of data. Go with Pure Talk, and you get to choose how much data you actually want. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now, and if you do it now, you'll save an additional 50% off your first month from Pure Talk.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela! Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything. But while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
Of course, if 2024 is anything like 4 years ago, some election results could be challenged. Back in 2020, of course, that led to the Capitol riot, interrupting the certification of President Biden's victory. And in Washington, D.C., there's already enhanced security.
While some businesses in Washington, D.C. have boarded up their windows and doors in the event of unrest, Mayor Muriel Bowser says there are no credible threats of violence in the district. Metro Police Chief Pamela A. Smith said there will be, quote, no tolerance for violence.
As I've said before, we will hold all offenders accountable. We will not tolerate the destruction of property, and we will not tolerate threats to public safety as well as this election process.
Another precaution being taken, an added layer of fencing around the Naval Observatory where Vice President Kamala Harris lives. In Washington, D.C., Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Israel has gone on the attack in Gaza again, targeting Hamas weapons storage, though Palestinian officials say at least 20 people were killed, including children. Iran is getting payback from Russia for helping it in the war in Ukraine.
2 Iranian satellites have been carried into space by a Russian rocket. The Soyuz spacecraft blasted off from Russia's Far East. Iran's civilian space program has suffered 5 consecutive failed launches, so this is another sign of the two countries working closely together.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. On Wall Street, stock futures are rising the day after selling dragged the Dow down 257 points. Monday Night Football went to overtime.
The Kansas City Chiefs won their 14th consecutive game on a rainy night at Arrowhead. KC got by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in overtime, 30-24. Kareem Hunt powered his way to the end zone on the lone OT possession. The Bucs forced overtime when Baker Mayfield hit Ryan Miller for the tying score with 27 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
That's Fox's Bob Mortalli. The defending champion Chiefs are the NFL's only undefeated team, now 8-0. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. News time is 7:05. I'm Andrew Dominio. This update brought to you by City Suburban. Call City Suburban today at 315-853-3899 or log on to citysuburban.com for a free quote. Today is Election Day, and there are several key races other than the presidential race you'll need to pay attention to. Central New Yorkers are getting a say today about who represents them on Capitol Hill. In the 22nd Congressional District, incumbent Republican Congressman Brandon Williams is being challenged by Democrat and current state Senator John Mannion. The two have been trading barbs in the campaign trail for weeks. in what's expected to be one of the most closely watched races in the country. The 22nd District covers Onondaga and Madison counties, plus parts of Cortland, Oneida, and Cayuga counties. Other key races to note is the 119th Assembly District, where incumbent Democrat Marianne Buttenshaw is facing off against challenger Republican Christine Esposito. And Senator Joe Griffo, longtime incumbent in the 53rd Senate District, is facing a Democrat challenge from James Myers. A bar fight that took place in New Hartford on October 20th has led to the arrest of 5 individuals. The brawl took place at around 2 a.m. at the Keeler Saloon on Clinton Road. New Hartford police say when officers arrived, they found multiple individuals fleeing the area, multiple individuals on scene who had sustained non-life-threatening injuries and damage to the interior of the establishment itself. As a result, 2 men and 3 women were charged following the incident. You can read full details of the story at WIBX950.com. A bat in Utica has tested positive for rabies. According to the Oneida County Health Department, the bat was sent to the New York State Department of Health Wadsworth Center for analysis on October 28th. A positive result was confirmed November 1st. 1 person was exposed to the bat and has since received post-exposure treatment. The health department did not disclose the specific location where the bat was found. And many Americans are finding it tough to make new friends. A recent survey conducted by Talker Research finds that many Americans are finding it tough to make new friends. The survey reveals 39% of people have not made a new friend in over a year, and many feel their social lives are stuck in a rut. The same survey also says the average person only spent one-on-one time with friends they already have around 7 times in the last year. The pandemic's impact on social interactions lingers, with many still craving human contact. Experts suggest planning group activities or trips could help rejuvenate social connections. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 7:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by the new Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
Here's the latest forecast from the WIBX Weather Center. Overnight lows should be in the mid-30s this time of year. Take a quick peek. Certainly not there this morning. The mild weather continues. And how about another day where we have temperatures into the 70s? And we'll have one tomorrow, too, before we cool off Thursday. A few showers around this morning, then developing sunshine and very mild 75. Tonight, clear 60. Even in the North Country, only in the 40s and 50s. Showers are likely tomorrow, 73. Slight chance of a shower Thursday, 58. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
All right, now it's 50 degrees under cloudy skies at 7:08. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43. Local contractors will start with the Syracuse University men's basketball team, a little close for comfort. They, I guess, celebrated a successful start to the new season. The Orange were able to hold off the Lemoyne College Dolphins 86-82 at the JMA Wireless Dome last night. Jair Davis was the leading scorer for SU with 22 points, and Chris Bell had 20. The next game for Syracuse is November 12th at home against Colgate. Meanwhile, the stinking, stupid, disgusting Kansas City Chiefs, led by Patrick Mahomes, had a game-winning touchdown drive in overtime as the Chiefs remained the last undefeated team in the NFL. Kansas City took down the Buccaneers 30-24 at GEHA Field at Arrowhead. Mahomes completed 34 of 44 passes for 291 yards and 3 touchdowns. Baker Mayfield went 23 for 31 for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns in the losing effort. The Bucs have lost 3 in a row and slipped to 4-5. The Cowboys are planning to be without their franchise quarterback for the next few games. ESPN reports Dak Prescott is expected to miss several weeks due to the right hamstring injury he suffered on Sunday. In other news, wide receiver CeeDee Lamb was diagnosed with a sprained AC joint in his right shoulder. It's not known if he will miss any time. The Yankees are getting their ace back. ESPN reports Garrett Cole is staying with the team after he originally opted out of his 4-year, $144 million contract Saturday. The sides are expected to work on a contract extension after New York declined to exercise a $36 million option in his current deal. Cole joined the Bronx Bombers before the COVID-shortened 2020 season on a 9-year, $324 million contract. The 6-time All-Star won his first Cy Young Award in 2023 when he went 15-4 with a 2.63 ERA in over 209 innings. And speaking of free agency, the Major League Baseball hot stove is already heating up. More than a dozen players received qualifying offers from their former teams to officially kick off free agency Monday. Yankees outfielder Juan Soto, Astros third baseman Alex Bregman, and Orioles starter Corbin Burns headline players in the AL. Mets first baseman Pete Alonso, Dodgers outfielder Teoscar Hernandez, also among the notable players from the National League side. The qualifying offer is for a one-year deal worth just over $21 million. If a player accepts, they have until November 19th to take or decline the offer. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 7:11.
Coming up this hour, we'll do Habaika's free money question of the day. This morning, Davey, what are we looking at? How much money do you think is on the line here on Election Day 2024?
150.
200, you said?
I said 150.
Okay.
Jesus.
All right. Sorry. I misheard you. All right. Davey says 200 today on the line for Habaika's free money question of the day. Where are you going? Well, come back. Oh, boy.
You've upset him.
$200.
You sucked all the mojo out of the booth.
I'll say it quietly. $200. On the line at 7:35 here on Election Day. Your chance to win from Habaika and WIBX. Also, you have a chance to qualify for a $500 gift card. It's a gas card from Cliff's Local Market. And this is really cool. We'll give away a $25 gift card this hour, and you'll automatically qualify for Friday's $500 giveaway.
I said 150, everybody. 150.
200, 200, 200.
Are you hearing a little noise from somewhere?
It's a little bird. It's some sort of squeak.
I don't know.
Like,
good morning, Davey. Good morning.
Oh, Davey, how are you?
Okay.
All right. And did you vote yet?
Yes, I did last Sunday.
Okay.
Who'd you vote for?
I already told you who I voted for. I voted for Trump.
Oh, that's right, you un-American.
I voted for... You want me to tell you who I voted for?
Sure.
Okay. I voted for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
I voted for Marianne. I voted for Brandon Williams. And I voted for Joe Griffo.
The Grifster.
Okay.
Because they were on my ballot,
district.
so I did my civic duty.
You did your duty.
Go.
All right.
There you
go. Anyway, you could qualify to win the $500 gas card on Friday just by winning or downloading the WIBX 950 app. We'll give somebody qualifying options coming up in just a little bit. A couple quickies. If you are wondering what Vegas is saying, right now the current line on tonight's race, Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump. Trump is favored as odds to win plus 175. I'm sorry. She's plus 125. I'm sorry. Yeah. So she is the underdog at plus 125. Sorry. Trump is favored by Vegas right now. Let's see what happens. That's still very close, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Here's another little item. The squirrel thing. There's a story up on our website at WIBX950.com.
Peanut the squirrel?
Yes. The dead squirrel.
Murdered
Peanut
squirrel.
the squirrel and Fred, a rescued raccoon, are popular on social media. Mark Longo of New York, down in the southern tier, and his pet squirrel and raccoon were taken by DEC officers, and they euthanized both of them for rabies after somebody was reportedly bitten by the squirrel.
Oh, so that's a different story that's being purported.
That's the story, the only story I know that's been reported.
Well, the story that's going around the internet that's gone viral is that it was a man and a woman who had them as a pet, Peanut the squirrel as
illegally,
a pet.
Right?
Illegally, and because it was an illegal pet, they were stolen and euthanized.
Well, they may say they were stolen, but the DEC came in because someone reported that they had animals, they were raising animals domestically that should have been wild. Here is the guy, the owner, Mark Longo, talking about what went down.
Happened to us? You need that many officers to show up to my house to literally pull my closets apart. We were ready to comply. We were ready to get the paperwork. We were in the process of doing that. We needed a little bit of guidance from the DEC.
To take Peanut away from my family is not only, heart-wrenching, but then you take it away from the organization that solely gets its funding from social media that requires Peanut to get that funding.
I don't care about this story.
I'm just looking at this from...
You're not supposed to take wild animals, and you just... I'm... maybe I'm a rule follower. Oh, that's so funny.
I'm sorry. I was just looking at the...
enough is enough. Give me a break.
I'm just looking at this video clip. So I didn't realize that the stinking Chiefs got away with a false start.
Will you stay on topic, please?
Yeah.
Okay. Talk about that later. I'm talking about the stupid squirrel.
Yeah, but I'm in full support of the squirrel.
Yes, your attention deficit. J.D. Vance made some comments about the death of Peanut also, saying that former President Donald Trump is all fired up about it.
So I know Don's fired up about Peanut the squirrel. We were on the way down here from Cincinnati. He was like, is it really the case that the Democrats murdered the Elon Musk of squirrels? And I said, yeah, it sounds like, have you seen the videos of this squirrel? Yeah. He's a genius, or he was.
Yeah, now he's dead. A little sarcasm there from J.D. Vance. Here's the other thing. How about the contest that Elon Musk was in the middle of doing? This whole contest of you win $1 million if you sign his pledge. Did you see what came out in court yesterday?
I did not.
There's no contest. They're spokespeople, and they're paid $1 million, but it is no contest. That whole thing was a sham. So,
okay.
So, and I'm kind of thinking he probably came up with that because otherwise you can't hold a contest like that
around an
election.
Yeah.
So, nonetheless, and I guess that's all I wanted to squeeze in here right now, but there's a bunch more coming up. Coming up, we'll speak with John Zogby, Dr. Ken Hall on later on in the hour. Do want to talk about the story up on our website about a potential game changer when it comes to cancer. And we'll get to that coming up in just a second. Stand by. Yes, go ahead. What do you want to talk about?
Regarding the squirrel.
Okay,
This
what?
is from Steve.
All right.
The squirrel story isn't that simple. The guy said he saw the squirrel's mother hit by a car when it was a baby. He took it home to care for it and just kept it. Honestly, makes no difference to me, but DEC maybe could have handled it a little better. It is just a squirrel.
Yes, it is just a squirrel. Listen, I wish that the guy would come to my house and get rid of all of them and the chipmunks. We have a beautiful little hot tub, and these chipmunks get up inside there and eat out the insulation. I sit back there with my little BB gun and pew, 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 pew. I don't do anything. I would never say that I do anything.
Just threaten.
But I am protecting my hot tub. That's all I'm saying. Got a break. It's 7:18 at WIBX.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your trusted tire experts. Throughout the entire month of November, take $100 off instantly on any 4 installed Bridgestone or Firestone tires, including popular winter tires like the Firestone Winter Force and the Bridgestone Blizzak. Whether you're in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, or Herkimer, their team of professionals is ready to serve you. Schedule your appointment today online at TallmansTires.com. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Get the best tires for your vehicle at unbeatable prices guaranteed.
Okay then, low miles, real cream puff. Sign here, drive off.
I'd like to read the fine print.
Don't bother, miss.
Mrs. You'd be surprised what you find in the fine print. Like that Prop 1 that's on the ballot.
Equal rights? We love them here at Ace Auto.
Only Prop 1 isn't about equal rights. It's about special rights for illegal immigrants.
Say what?
It's in the fine print. You can read it on the ballot. Under Prop 1, national origin gets constitutional protection.
Huh, that means...
I do my own research.
I noticed.
Well, critics say Prop 1 could block local efforts to deal with the migrant crisis and give illegals a constitutional right to taxpayer benefits. Prop 1 could even open the door for non-citizens to vote here.
Okay, I'm sold. I'm voting no on Prop 1. It's a clunker. Paid for by Vote No on Prop 1 Committee. Vote no on prop1.org.
I'm James Myers, candidate for state senate. Growing up, we didn't have much. Like a lot of families who work hard to get by here in the Mohawk Valley. I joined the Army so that I could afford college, but service to our country taught me so much more. like how important it is to keep our communities safe, to fully fund our police departments and emergency services, especially in rural areas. When I came home from active duty, I cared for my mom while she battled cancer. It was frustrating and complicated to get the care she needed. I wouldn't wish that struggle on anyone while they are also fighting for their life. I know our region badly needs better health care. I learned the value of service from the Army and the difference it can make in people's lives. And that's why I'm running for state senate, to serve the people, to work hard to make your life a little easier, a little safer. I'd be honored to have your vote. Paid for by Friends of James Myers.
It's not stopping. The lies and mudslinging just keep coming.
It's time to tune out the negativity.
We're educators who know John Mannion. Trust him.
This guy gets it.
He spent 25 years in the classroom, inspiring students for a generation.
He took that spirit to the state senate.
Fighting for us. Delivering record education funding.
50,000 jobs right here with the Micron Project. Record middle-class tax cuts.
All while protecting our freedoms.
In Congress, he'll lower costs for our families, protect Social Security and Medicare, and stand up to extremists.
So the next time you see some angry ads and grainy video, tune them out.
Take it from real educators. John Mannion will have our back. He always has.
Vote John Mannion by November 5th. Common ground over chaos.
Paid for by NY Common Ground, nycommonground.com. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. NY Common Ground is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Joe Griffo is there when we need him. No matter how big or small the issue, Joe makes a difference. He has the clout in Albany to get things done, and that's huge for all of us. As Assistant Minority Leader, Joe's helped secure over $1 billion for roads, bridges, and schools, and investments like the Odd, Wynn Hospital, and high-tech jobs at Griffiths and Marcy. We're coming back because Joe Griffo has our back. This fall, vote to re-elect Senator Joe Griffo because Joe gets things done.
This is Senator Joe Griffo, and our recent progress is amazing. But there's so much more to be done to keep the momentum going, whether it's delivering critical aid for infrastructure in schools or supporting small business. I'll keep the pressure on Governor Hochul and the New York City majority to reverse our dangerous bail laws and to stop the flow of illegal immigrants. It's time to give law enforcement the tools that they need to keep us safe. I'm Senator Joe Griffo. I appreciate your support, and I'm asking for your vote. Paid for by Friends of Joe Griffo 2024.
Hello, everyone in Central New York. This is Dave Letterman, your old TV pal. Remember me? I'm supposed to say something witty and funny here about Bill Keeler, but I've got nothing. Ever see a picture of this guy? That's a joke in itself. Anyhow, here's Keeler on WIBX.
A lot of political comments here this morning we'll get to coming up, though. First, though, I want to get to the man, the one and only, John Zogby, who's on the line now. John, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Bill. How are you?
Well, I don't know. You tell me. I always rely on you to determine whether I'm good or not. And what do you say here on Election Day?
Yeah, our final poll has Harris ahead in the popular vote by 3.7 points. The popular vote, you know, I wouldn't call it a surge, but steadily increasing. I think I'm comfortable suggesting that she'll win the popular vote. The battleground states, though, we're just not getting any real signal, any clear signal. The polls are tied. When they're not tied, there's a 0.3 or a 1.1 lead by one or the other candidate. And so it's not only difficult to project from that, it's impossible.
Yeah. This is, what you're saying is, when it comes to the Electoral College, this thing is a dead heat.
It's a dead heat. Oh. Absolutely. You look at Pennsylvania, the final polling in Pennsylvania averages out to a 0.1% lead by Trump. There is nothing to go on there. Even if he was behind by 0.1%, you're talking about movement there that's really not any movement at all, well within the margin of error. And frankly, Michigan, Wisconsin, North Carolina, even and out west as well, when you see a little bit of movement, it's in the 0.1%.
Yeah.
So again, no movement at all.
John, there's always been such hyper focus on Georgia. That's been one of the key swing states as of late. But it feels like there hasn't been a lot of campaigning from either candidate as heavily as maybe a North Carolina, Pennsylvania, or some other states. Is that the case? Is there more a belief in one side or the other that they're going to lock that up?
Well, first of all, they've made abundant campaign stops in Georgia, but I think the two states to watch are Pennsylvania and North Carolina. They're both large states. Pennsylvania, of course, 19 electoral votes. North Carolina, 16 electoral votes, like Georgia, incidentally. But a sense that by both sides that Pennsylvania can be won and that North Carolina can be won, and that's an Eastern bellwether that could portend for other states.
Yeah. So I am doing an interview later on today where they're asking people their thoughts on the election, and in addition, do I feel if the Democrats are regretting choosing Kamala Harris? It is interesting how the GOP has done a really good job of repositioning her because she was relatively unknown, really, prior to all of this. But I'll ask you your opinion. Are Democrats second-guessing their choice?
Some are. There's really no love among, let's say, the Clinton people, the Obama people, and now the Biden people and the Harris people. They were whispering about her when she was just the vice president and looking for reasons to keep Biden in the race. Well, we don't want Kamala. She's damaged.
Yeah.
But I think she's turned out to be a good candidate. Look, this thing is tied. When you consider that the Biden administration has an approval rating of 40%, give or take, that 70% or so think the country is headed in the wrong direction. Why is this even close? You would think that those would be huge albatrosses around, a Democratic candidate's neck, but she has made it close. Now, a lot of that is fear of Donald Trump. And, our poll that came out yesterday showed that about a third of her supporters fear Donald Trump more than they back her.
Right.
But the point is, I don't see where she's hurt the Democrats. She has performed better than Joe Biden was performing.
Yeah. So we're really saying this thing is a dead heat. However, we could run into a scenario where it turns out to be a landslide because of these very close races all turn one way or the other.
That's right.
That changes
That's what
everything.
happened in 2012.
Yeah.
Obama and Romney were neck and neck going into the weekend. Obama was underperforming among younger voters, but then we saw Friday, Saturday, Sunday, not only that he was increasing his support among 18 to 29-year-olds, but in particular, 18 to 29-year-old women who turned out for him in the end very big. We're seeing that young women and older women, interestingly, are backing Harris in huge numbers, and that's something to look at. That was behind the Iowa poll, a large woman's turnout in Iowa, which suggested this past weekend that Harris was actually leading. And then in our poll, we find a 70-point gender gap between 18 to 29-year-old young men and 18 to 29-year-old women.
I'm assuming the young men favoring Trump, the women
right.
the other way. Yeah.
Yeah, 35-point differentials on each side, adding up to to 70%.
Wow. All right, John. Where will we be tomorrow morning?
I'll be around. I've got interviews, so call soon.
All right, we will get you tomorrow, and we're all sitting at the edge of our seats here to see what ends up happening. John Zogby, as always, thank you for your insight, and we'll talk tomorrow.
Take care. Thanks,
right,
Bill.
Thanks so much. There you go. What do you think? But here's the scenario where, as John said, this could be a landslide victory. If all of the, like anything else, you have these tight races in each of these states, especially in the swing states, these battleground states. All of a sudden, if they start skewing one way or the other, 1, 2, 3, it's over. It's really over.
Yeah.
And I think if that were to happen, I would be leaning towards probably happening for Trump, right? I don't know. It's just a gut feeling. You get that feel. But we're also in an area that is heavy Trump. Oneida County is very heavy Donald Trump. You see it by all the F. Biden signs that are out there. And there are many.
I think the fact is that
I want to stop and knock on the door and say, he's not running anymore.
They still are angry.
Yeah.
The GOP has done a very, I think, good job of changing the way that they approach the early voting. Many people were vehemently against that, myself still included.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much of a difference that makes. But yeah, they.
Well, I mean, it's
nationally, it's neck and neck. I mean, Democrats have a bit of the edge nationally when it comes to early voting, but it's very, very close. You go back 4 years, it wasn't even. I mean, Republicans just didn't vote early.
Right. So that was a strategy that they've had since the last election to try to urge people to go out earlier. But it's still a toss-up. I have no inkling. World Series, right? I knew the Dodgers were the better team, and ultimately they were going to pull it off. I just have no.
Yeah, I think the
I have
World
no
Series
real.
the way you're comparing it is correct. It's a bad comparison. You can't compare it to this race.
No.
This could go either. And the other part of it is, and he said it's a third of voters of Kamala Harris's voters are anti-Trump and not necessarily pro-Kamala. I dare say that number might even be higher than that. This is a lot about Trump, and for those who don't like him, it doesn't matter. Kamala Harris is perfectly fine for those people.
You have to remember, too, when she ran organically for president in the primary, the Democrat primary in 2020, I believe, She was out early.
Yeah.
1% of the vote. Didn't even win California.
Well,
her home
that
state.
is as meaningless as the fact that Donald Trump used to be a Democrat. It's a
but
whole
saying,
different scenario now. This is
as far as John was saying, her popularity going into her being selected as the candidate.
But I think she's done a tremendous job, and I get it if you're watching a certain. I mean, if you're only consuming one type of news. She's evil. She's a communist, socialist at the very least, which we all are. We just don't know it. And I understand they've done a great job of repositioning her and demonizing her. But the reality is she hasn't made any mistakes. She really hasn't. I mean, you expected her to do something stupid, and she hasn't done that. And I feel like, unlike Trump, who can, at this point, do whatever, go out on Fifth Ave and shoot somebody, and it's not going to change the support. She is in a different boat. She does something bad, she's done. And that's why I think they were very, very careful getting her out there. She did few interviews. I think they were very careful because they knew one stupid move, and it's all over. So in that regard, I think she did a decent job. You clearly don't see that, but believe me, the fact that it's dead even should make you look in the mirror.
I'm just saying that it bodes better for an anti-Trump vote. Is all I'm saying.
There's no doubt there's a huge anti-Trump vote. The point is, it's tied. That's unbelievable that it's tied. And I know there's somebody out there yelling at the radio saying, "Yeah, but if it is really tied, is it really tied?" I guess we'll find out coming up tonight. All right, we'll do Hovika's free money question of the day. And we'll speak with Dr. Kent Hall, a really big topic to speak with the doc on in regards to this this new treatment for cancer that is at very early stages. It is being tested on lab rats and mice, but this could be a real game changer. We'll talk to the doc coming up. And as Davey proudly proclaimed this morning, we're playing for $200. $200 from the Hobica Law Firm. Thank you, Davey. What caller number are you looking for?
I didn't say 200.
What caller number are you looking for?
All right, caller 8.
Okay, caller 5 right now at 315. Oh, you said 8? All right, caller 8. 315-736-0186. Hard of hearing, Davey. The older I get. It's terrible. 315, caller number 8. 315-736-0186, and we will do it next.
Let's set the record straight with Marianne Buttonshot. 1. Despite attack ads against her, featuring childish cartoons with lies and inappropriate distortions, she has refused to get mean and dirty. 2. Despite what you might have been told, she does not rubber stamp any politician, including the governor and New York City elites. She works with members of both parties, and she's fought to bring over $100 million to the Mohawk Valley. And 3, she's absolutely against taxpayer dollars being handed over to politicians so they can run for office. Her opponent took over $120,000 in taxpayer funds, much of it used to distort Marianne's record. And how much did Marianne take? 0, because she believes it's wrong. Assemblywoman Buttonshot supports our businesses, first responders, and veterans, a career educator delivering to all schools, and she's a farmer who supports other farmers. Vote for Marianne. Paid for by friends of Marianne Buttonshot and not the taxpayers of New York State.
I'm James Myers, candidate for state senate. Growing up, we didn't have much, like a lot of families who work hard to get by here in the Mohawk Valley. I joined the Army so that I could afford college, but service to our country taught me so much more. Like how important it is to keep our communities safe, to fully fund our police departments and emergency services, especially in rural areas. When I came home from active duty, I cared for my mom while she battled cancer. It was frustrating and complicated to get the care she needed. I wouldn't wish that struggle on anyone while they are also fighting for their life. I know our region badly needs better health care. I learned the value of service from the Army and the difference it can make in people's lives. And that's why I'm running for state senate, to serve the people, to work hard to make your life a little easier, a little safer. I'd be honored to have your vote. Paid for by friends of James Myers.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Assemblyman Brian Miller thanks those people of the 122nd Assembly District who took the time to share their concerns during the campaign. With voting underway and the polls open on Election Day from 6 a.m. till 9, Brian has heard a lot of stories that people will be taking with them into the voting booth. Inflation and public safety are among the most talked about, but there's so much more, like education and healthcare, veterans and farmers. Brian Miller continues to work to help create opportunity for young people. That includes taking advantage of the new high-tech industry spreading across the Mohawk Valley. And Brian knows the importance of protecting our upstate values, which includes preserving our Second Amendment rights. And Brian takes his service to the community seriously. If you have a problem with state government or services, call Brian at his office in Albany or here locally. He's always ready to help. And when you vote this week, please vote for Brian Miller. He's working for all of us. Paid for by Brian Miller for Assembly.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your trusted tire experts. Throughout the entire month of November, take $100 off instantly on any 4 installed Bridgestone or Firestone tires, including popular winter tires like the Firestone Winter Force and the Bridgestone Blizzak. Whether you're in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, or Herkimer, their team of professionals is ready to serve you. Schedule your appointment today online at tallmanstires.com. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Get the best tires for your vehicle at unbeatable prices guaranteed.
Have you been thinking about buying a new hot tub or spa? Now is the time. Liverpool Pool and Spa has a large selection of American-made spas and hot tubs. Enjoy year-round for both relaxation and hydrotherapy. Fast delivery and installation available, as well as local service and support long after the sale. Financing options also available for qualified buyers. Stop into the Rome location today on 1501 East Dominic Street in Rome, or visit liverpoolpoolandspa.com for more information. Don't just dream it, live it.
I'm James Myers, candidate for state senate. Growing up, we didn't have much, like a lot of families who work hard to get by here in the Mohawk Valley. I joined the Army so that I could afford college, but service to our country taught me so much more. Like how important it is to keep our communities safe, to fully fund our police departments and emergency services, especially in rural areas. When I came home from active duty, I cared for my mom while she battled cancer. It was frustrating and complicated to get the care she needed. I wouldn't wish that struggle on anyone while they are also fighting for their life. I know our region badly needs better health care. I learned the value of service from the Army and the difference it can make in people's lives. And that's why I'm running for state senate, to serve the people, to work hard to make your life a little easier, a little safer. I'd be honored to have your vote. Paid for by Friends of James Myers.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM is celebrating its 99th birthday with talk show host and comedian Jimmy Fallon.
Hey, it's your radio buddy Jimmy Fallon, and I am coming. This is not a drill, folks.
Jimmy Fallon, heard on WIBX and radio stations around the country weekdays and seen on his live TV show Saturday nights on Fox News Channel, is coming for one show only, Friday, December 6th at 8 p.m. at the Rome Capitol Theater.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Tickets start at $47 and are on sale now at RomeCapital.com. RomeCapital.com.
Bottom of the ninth on this show. I'm heading up to Utica. I'm doing the show live from WIBX tomorrow. Hanging out with my man Davey.
Jimmy Fallon, one night only at the Rome Capitol Theater from Keeler in the morning. And WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Celebrating 99 amazing years. Get your tickets at RomeCapital.com.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Show sponsored in part by First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Let's do this, baby.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Coming up in a second, Free Fuel Friday.
Free Fuel Friday.
We're going to give you that chance to qualify to win. To win a $25 gift card from Cliffs and WIBX. It's a free gas card. And then a $500 gas card. Your chance to win is coming up in just a second. First, let's do Hobeika's free money question of the day from Joseph and Andrew Hobeika and the Hobeika Law Firm. Call 315-724-1600 for all of your legal needs. And on the line right now to take a shot in Holland Patton, New York, is the one and only Ray.
How's it going, Ray?
Not bad. Good morning. Just got finished voting up and on my way to work.
Congratulations. Right. Thank you.
Did you vote up or did you vote across? Dun, dun, dun.
We'll never know.
You'll never know.
People need to go back to that.
I do. I think there are a lot of people that have that. Yeah. My wife didn't know who she was going to vote for until she used a public restroom the other day, and then boom, she won't tell me a thing. I don't know what's going on. Is there something happening out there?
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's very telling. That's
really
very
weird.
Telling.
Really weird, Ray. All right, here we go. Here is your question. I want to give away money today. It's $200 on the line from the Hobeika Law Firm.
Courtesy of Davey.
And thank you, Davey, for that $200, by the way. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, here's your question. You have 7 seconds. Beat the buzzer. I don't know how you feel, Ray. I hate Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Oh, hate them.
Hate them.
Got away with another one yesterday.
Once again, they are undefeated. When was the last year an NFL team went all the way, undefeated, through the Super Bowl? What year was it? Ready, go.
1972.
You're going to go with 72. Are you sure?
half and half.
I think it's a pretty good guess. 1972 is
Miami Dolphins, baby!
Yeah, I told you we were giving it away. You just knew it. Do you realize there's not been another team to go all the way?
Almost the Patriots, but then they lost.
Those Miami Dolphins in 1972 went all the way. The perfect season. Really an easy question today. I can't believe, Davey, you gave away $200. Oh, Mike is going to be so mad at you. All right, Ray, congratulations. Nice job.
Woo, woo. Yes, thank you very much.
As he says, woo, woo. Stand by. Davey's going to hook you up. Nice job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, of course it was the 1972 Miami Dolphins. You know, Andrew, when I look over at you and I say, we're going to give away money today.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just tell by the question when it pops up. On the line right now is Dr. Kent Hall. Doc, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing this fine election day morning?
Well, it's a very interesting day. I mean, can you imagine? We're looking at temperatures of like 72 to 75 degrees today for election day. So odd for us.
The sun will be shining.
Well,
I love it.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know if the sun will be shining, but yeah, it'll be warm, so that'll be nice.
It's going to clear up, Doc. I think the clouds are going to clear eventually.
This morning on my way in, there was a glow as the sun was coming up. Actually, it wasn't on my way in, just a few minutes ago. There was a glow, and you could see, I don't know if you saw it, but you could see the Lord right around the sunshine holding up a picture of Donald Trump. I don't know.
The image of him.
It was amazing.
Yes, his image.
A halo. The man who has done nothing ever wrong. I love it. And I'm sure, Doc, you do too. It's election day. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, it is election day.
Were you an early voter, Doc?
No. My wife and I are going to have what we're calling an election day date tonight.
Nice.
After she gets off of work, we're going to go and we're going to vote.
Well,
that is as romantic as it is ever I've heard.
It is there are a lot of, this has been a really interesting race in that there are a lot of groups that are rallied together, and I'm hearing happy hours, election parties, and that sort of thing. It is, those parties could all end really badly and sadly, but you're going to see a lot of people doing that. Okay.
Or they could go on for several days.
That's exactly right.
God, Doc. No,
right.
Please, no.
Yeah, there's nothing like a good binge party. You might need it after tonight. Okay. Story up on our website right now is very interesting. It came from Princeton Medicine, and the word is that, and Doc, I thought of you, and because you talked about this during COVID, this all came out when during COVID we were working on a vaccine, and I'm sorry, I said Princeton, it's Stanford Medicine, and they say this is where this came from during COVID, and you said that just the way that we're moving so quickly on this vaccine, it is going to help us in other areas, such as maybe a potential cure or a partial cure or some sort of an improvement to treatment for cancer, and that's what has come out of this.
Yeah, so this is interesting. So this is basically using the body's natural way to heal itself or to generate itself, and in doing that, you actually have to lose cells as they get older so that newer cells can come on. The way that cancer works is that it actually inhibits that process of the cells dying, and so it's just rampant moving forward with nothing to be on the other side. What these researchers at Stanford are doing, and it was through this kind of thought process of natural, how does the body naturally work, and how can we use its natural processes, was to say, cancers do that because they actually inhibit that normal process. And so so first of all, they're only doing this with one cancer so far, and it is very early. They've been using cell cultures, and they've been testing it in mice. to see if there's any in the mice to see if there's any toxic effects.
Yeah.
But what they're doing is they're linking together these genes or proteins in such a way that they allow that process, that basically the cells to kill themselves, to turn that gene back on, or to turn that process back on, specifically in cancer cells. And it is very interesting. It is also so two things. Number one, very preliminary. And number two, this is only in one type of cancer. It's in B-cell lymphoma cancer. And remember, as I've said before, cancer is not a single disease. It is, there are 200 diseases that we all lump together under cancer because they all have the same effect of basically overgrowth of abnormal immature cells. And if this process works for B-cell lymphoma, then it may very well work for others too, but it may not work for everything. So it's really interesting. It is because we have devoted so much, resources, money, time, energy, effort into, how do we use the body's natural processes to actually fight things, i.e. giving vaccines, so that the body's natural process will keep us from getting sick. This is another instance of that, and it's really, really interesting.
Is it almost like an immunotherapy where they're basically planting something in your body that is natural and then it goes to work?
Well, so it is, yes, they're doing that, but it's not immunotherapy. So immunotherapy is about having something identify a cell type as being foreign, and then your body attacks it that way. So that's an attack from outside the cell.
Yeah.
Whereas this is really an attack inside the cell. It is the cell itself saying, "Hey, I'm not supposed to be here. I need to get out of the way for newer cells." And because it's an abnormal cell and they can target just the ones that are the cancer cells, that it seems to be a really positive way of moving forward.
So the medicine that I'm on is called a TKI, which is different because this is a medicine I have to take every day forever, for the most part. But it does kind of the same thing. It goes in and it shuts down the overproduction of cancerous white blood cells. And so while similar, this, and I feel like the drug that I'm on is a miracle drug, this goes so much further and could be, the hope is that this works with one cancer, but could work with many others, hopefully.
Right. That's exactly it. First, we have to make sure that it actually works and that it works the way that we want it to, and that there aren't any significant side effects and stuff. And then we have to see, okay, if it works with this type of cancer, does it work with others? So the medicine that you're taking, it actually gets into the cells that are dividing rapidly, and it causes them to malfunction, so that they don't continue to grow, which is, again, it's a different way. So there are, treating cancer is, there are many different pathways to it, and there are many different ways that we're trying to get this done, and that's good also, because you don't want to have just one path, because if it turns out it doesn't work, then you're really stuck. But if you've got 14 or 15 different paths, one doesn't work, maybe the other one does, or maybe they add together, and that's that is the fun in medical research.
The most amazing thing of all is that we are, we're finding ways to, whether it's cure or manage or find ways for people to live with the cancer that they have. These are all possible possibilities that 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we didn't have. And that's the miracle of it all.
Yeah, and who knows what we're going to have in another 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. I mean, this is the way that medical research, especially in certain areas like cancer and some of the immune diseases, is really moving forward at at a breakneck speed, which is interesting. You know, sometimes it's a little bit of a snail's pace, but then some breakthrough comes through, and all of a sudden it's like a dam letting loose, which in this case is a good thing.
Yeah.
So.
And then finally, it is a good time right now. This would be a really optimal time to get that flu shot or the COVID shot. This is probably the best time that you could do it. Am I correct with that?
Yeah, this is the time that you want to go and get it out, because this is when we're going to start to see more of an uptick again, similar to what we've had the last 3 or 4 years. And this is when flu starts to come on. And the good thing about getting it now is that the flu vaccine, the added immunity
Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome.
Corrected until about May.
Not sure why that happened, but it completely screwed us all up. We still did hear you, though, but all of a sudden our system fired. What you said was good time to get it, and there you go. Doc, as always, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week, and good luck with the date tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much. And everybody, please get out there and vote, no matter who you're voting for. Just get out there and vote, and please be safe.
All right, thanks so much. In mentioning what the doc said about the vaccine, Randall's Pharmacy in New Hartford, you could walk in today without an appointment and get any of the vaccines. No appointment necessary. They're located right next to Cavallo's. Or you and your company, your workplace, and you could bring this to your management team, or maybe you own the company. A vaccination right at your workplace where they will take care of everybody in one swoop. Anybody who wants the vaccine, it'll all be done. Insurance covers it. It's a great opportunity to make sure your workforce remains healthy during the season and during the winter months. Located on Genesee Street next to Cavallo's, Randall's Pharmacy. Vaccinations at your workplace, and you could walk right in without an appointment. Andrew has some comments here.
Yes, I do. This is Rocky in Utica. Griffo says that all our legislation is controlled by downstate Democrats. Therefore, all the millions that have come to us, Hospital Marcy, etc., have come at the benevolence of Cuomo and Democrats. Griffo should only get credit for spending when he was part of the majority, and that spending pales in comparison to what the Democrat majority has brought us. Big Honey.
Not sure I agree with that, but
Big Honey and Hecla. So you can shoplift until your heart is content in New York, but if you have a non-conventional pet, they will use any force necessary to eliminate that animal. Gotta love this state.
Well, if you have a non-conventional pet, stay quiet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't know what the story was about why it was discovered, but anyway.
Somebody reported him. Somebody called the DEC and reported the guy.
Republican Ralph in Pennsylvania. One stupid move and it's all over, unless you're Trump, and then it's an endless stream of stupid moves, and his cult doesn't give it a second thought. Ulysses S. Grant nailed it. The dividing line will not be Masons and Dixons, but between patriotism and intelligence on the one side and superstition, ambition, and ignorance on the other.
Okay,
Mr.
anything
Dramatic.
else? Anything else?
Okay, that's it. No,
okay,
that's it so far.
I have some others. QAnon John, the trap is set. Watch what this blank show turns into. I hope fake news announces Harris is the winner. Watch what happens then. Endgame for mainstream news. It's all over after today. I responded by saying, like I said, John, good morning, QAnon. Good morning, Bill. Let the chaos begin. If only people read and comprehended the current news and orders. Spoiler alert, you'll be finding out Trump won 2020. We're going to learn that coming up. Already setting the narrative, says John. Who voted for Harris to run? And then he says vaccines will go bye-bye, which is awesome because I really wanted to bring back polio. It would be such a good run for such a wonderful disease. Anything else you have? John,
no.
man, I hope you're not correct because we're all in big trouble.
You're going to have to hit that manually, I think.
If you're right. Okay, yeah, I don't know why that happened, and maybe on streaming it's all screwed up right now, probably. By the way, we're giving away Free Gas Friday. It is Free Fuel Friday. If you'd like to win a $25 gift card right now and qualify to win $500 on Friday, be the fifth caller right now, 315-736-0186. Your chance to win from Clifford and WIBX.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Why did that
Americans are now voting in 36 states.
No.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
President Trump has me very excited about the country.
He was first in line at his polling site in Bucks County, Pennsylvania early this morning, the biggest prize of the battleground states, where Fox's Brian Yennis reports.
So here in Pennsylvania, the count is also beginning with the mail ballots. It already started at 7 o'clock this morning. Take out the ballot and then flatten it out and start putting it through the machines. This is a process that takes time, which is why we will not expect a result here right at 8 o'clock.
Now, more than 82 million Americans have already voted early, Vice President Harris among them.
Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win.
That was at Harris's final rally in Philadelphia last night. Former President Trump also rallied in Pennsylvania before his last rally after midnight in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
We don't need a low IQ individual. We've had that for 4 years.
They're also voting now in Michigan and Wisconsin. Georgia, North Carolina, and Arizona polls all show a very close race. Israel has hit Gaza with another airstrike targeting Hamas weapons storage, but Palestinian officials say at least 20 people were killed, including children.
Israel hasn't commented, but accuses Hamas of hiding behind civilians. This part of northern Gaza has been the focus of an intense month-long air and ground operation to stop the militants from regrouping. During that time, almost no humanitarian aid has been allowed into the area. Yesterday, the State Department said Hamas had rejected a proposal for a short-term ceasefire and hostage release deal.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The Boeing strike is over on day 53 of the walkout. Picketing workers approved a new contract. They could return to work as soon as tomorrow, restarting some shut-down airplane production. America's listening to Fox News.
You know, the big wireless companies want you to overpay for data that you don't need, but you don't have to settle for that with Pure Talk. Well, you get to choose how much data that you actually want. And for $25 a month, you'll get unlimited talk, unlimited text. You're going to get mobile hotspot, 5 gigs of data. Go with Pure Talk, and you get to choose how much data you actually want. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now, and if you do it now, you'll save an additional 50% off your first month from Pure Talk.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela! Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything. But while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
The election is more than about who the president will be. Control of Congress is also on the line. Democrats only need to gain 5 seats to win the House majority. As for the 6 seats, as for the Senate,
Republicans need to flip just 1 seat to make the Senate balance of power 50-50. The most likely flip will be West Virginia, where Governor Jim Justice is a heavy favorite to replace retiring Democrat Joe Manchin. Republicans are also eyeing Montana, Ohio, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Arizona as opportunities to give Republicans 51 seats and full control. While not the most favorable map for Democrats, Texas and Florida serve as possible upsets over incumbent Republicans. In the case of a 50-50 tie, control of the Senate will rest on the White House, where the vice president has the tie-breaking vote. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
Abortion rights also on the ballot in 10 states after the Supreme Court's ruling undid a woman's federal right, allowing states to ban or restrict abortions. And speaking of the court, the justices hear 2 new cases this morning.
The first case involves the Department of Health and Human Services. More than 200 hospitals are challenging HHS over the calculation of Medicare reimbursements owed to them. The second case centers around overtime compensation. 3 employees at food products distributor EMD Sales had claimed the company violated the Fair Labor Standards Act by refusing to pay them overtime wages. Laura Cantor, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising after yesterday's selling. On Monday Night Football, an overtime thriller.
Here is Hunt for the touchdown. Kansas City remains unbeaten. 8-0.
The winning score on ESPN on OT, giving the defending champion Chiefs a 30-24 win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time 8:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. Right now, it's 53 degrees under cloudy skies. We'll continue to warm up, maybe some sunshine, your full weather forecast in minutes. This update brought to you by John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Oriskany Falls. For all your mobile home needs, it's worth the trip. Go to johnsmobilehomeparts.com for more information. The New York State trooper wounded in a shooting along Southern State Parkway last week is suspended without pay. An investigation has been launched into Trooper Thomas Machia, who is still recovering. It was reported Trooper Machia was shot in the leg by a suspect who was parked near exit 17 in West Hempstead. The Nassau County District Attorney's Office is investigating and reportedly executed a search warrant at Machia's residence yesterday. Very few details at this time, and this story is a head-scratcher. We'll continue to provide details as they unfold. Central New Yorkers are getting a say today about who represents them on Capitol Hill. In the 22nd Congressional District, incumbent Republican Congressman Brandon Williams is being challenged by Democrat and current state Senator John Mannion. The two have been trading barbs on the campaign trail for weeks in what's expected to be one of the most closely watched races in the country. The 22nd District covers Onondaga and Madison counties, plus parts of Cortland, Oneida, and Cayuga counties. Other races to pay attention to: in the 53rd Senate District, incumbent Republican Senator Joe Griffo is facing a challenge from Democrat James Myers. And Marianne Buttonshaw in the 119th Assembly District, she is the incumbent as a Democrat, running against Republican Christine Esposito. A bar fight took place in New Hartford on October 20th and has led to the arrest of 5 individuals. The brawl took place at 2 a.m. at the Killebrew Saloon located on Clinton Road. New Hartford police say when officers arrived, they found multiple individuals fleeing the area, multiple individuals on scene who had sustained non-life-threatening injuries, and damage to the interior of the establishment itself. As a result, 2 men and 3 women were charged following the incident. You can read their names and get more details at WIBX950.com. And the University of South Carolina is facing a hefty fine for fans rushing the field after Saturday's big upset win. The SEC announced yesterday the school must pay a $250,000 fine over the celebration. The Gamecocks defeated the 11th-ranked Texas A&M 44-20 at Williams-Brice Stadium. This marked the second time South Carolina has been fined for students rushing the playing area after they stormed the court following the men's basketball team beating Kentucky in January. The next incident will cost the school $500,000. And when you think about how much these teams make, these schools make, really, that's nothing.
$500 is nothing.
$500,000.
$500,000 is nothing.
Niente. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 8:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by the Stanley Center of the Arts.
Here's the latest forecast from the WIBX Weather Center. Overnight lows should be in the mid-30s this time of year. Take a quick peek. Certainly not there this morning. The mild weather continues. And how about another day where we have temperatures into the 70s? And we'll have one tomorrow, too, before we cool off Thursday. A few showers around this morning, then developing sunshine and very mild 75. Tonight, clear 60. Even in the North Country, only in the 40s and 50s. Showers are likely tomorrow, 73. Slight chance of a shower Thursday, 58. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajik at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy skies, 53 degrees here in Marcy. It's 8:09. Sports brought to you by IBEW Nika 43, local contractors. Patrick Mahomes led a game-winning touchdown drive in overtime as the Chiefs remained the NFL's last undefeated team. Kansas City took down the Buccaneers 30-24 at GEHA Field at Arrowhead. Mahomes completed 34 of 44 passes for 291 yards and 3 touchdowns. Baker Mayfield, however, went 23 of 31. Not a bad game, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, but they lost. The Bucs have lost 3 in a row to slip to 4-5 in a division that's still very competitive. The Major League Baseball hot stove is already heating up. More than a dozen players received qualifying offers from their former teams to officially kick off free agency Monday. Yankees outfielder Juan Soto, Astros third baseman Alex Bregman, and Orioles starter Corbin Burns headlined players in the American League receiving offers. Mets first baseman Pete Alonso, Braves starter Max Fried, and Dodgers outfielder Teoscar Hernandez were among the notable players on the NL side. The qualifying offer is for a one-year deal worth just over $21 million if a player accepts. They have until November 19th to take or decline the offer. The Yankees are getting their ace back. ESPN reports Garrett Cole is staying with the team after he originally opted out of his 4-year, $144 million contract Saturday. The sides are expected to work on a contract extension after New York declined to exercise a $36 million option in his current deal. Cole joined the Bombers before the COVID-shortened 2020 season on a 9-year, $324 million contract. The six-time All-Star won his first Cy Young Award in 2023. when he went 15-4 with a 2.63 ERA over 209 innings. If you're dealing with pain anywhere on your body, neck, back, knee, wrist, arthritis, shoulder, neuropathy pain, or like me, foot and ankle pain, I am a patient of Revive Softwave Therapy at 2709 Genesee Street in Utica, and I can tell you I'm a believer. After 6 treatments, my pain went from an 8 to a 0. I ran a half marathon back in end of January, early February, had some complications from that, and I credit Revive Softwave Therapy with getting me better. There are many sports teams that use this technology in their locker rooms, like the Dodgers, the Giants, the Steelers, the Nets, Guardians, Lakers, Cubs. Also major medical centers like Cleveland Clinic, Mayo Clinic. They use this technology in their hospitals. It's an FDA-cleared, non-invasive, and drug-free treatment for chronic pain, inflammation, and all joint issues. Maybe you want to do away with the pain meds. Maybe you want to stop getting those injections. Maybe give Revive Softwave Therapy a try. Dr. Tim Delmedico and his staff are dedicated to you and getting your pain better. And Dr. Tim has sold his chiropractic business to fully and wholly focus on this technology and getting people better. So if you want more information, go to reviveutica.com. You can check out some of the research that went into developing this technology. You can see videos, testimonials, see how the treatment is done. Rob Esch of the Utica Comets, formerly of the NHL and Team USA, is a patient of Revive Softwave Therapy and loves it. Keeler listeners get a sweet discount on your initial consultation and first treatment. Call them at 315-725-8427, 315-725-8427, or their website, reviveutica.com. That's reviveutica.com. Let the healing begin with Revive Softwave Therapy, 2709 Genesee Street in Utica.
So if you know of someone who's having a big birthday or you're looking for a wonderful holiday gift for somebody,
yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I've got it for you. Now, it's only going to cost you $2 million.
Oh, okay.
But let's say you have $2 million just burning a hole in your pocket, and and you want to give something special to someone. Here we go. Let's say you'd like to watch a 27-year-old man and a 58-year-old man punch each other. Yes, you know it. I'm talking about the November 15th, just around the corner fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Oh, yeah. It's coming up on Netflix.
Here's the package. 10 tickets to the fight, 2 ringside apron seats, 4 first-row floor seats, and a 4 second-row floor seat. 4 second-row floor seats. An exclusive stadium arrival experience, security and escort during the evening, a pre-fight photo in the locker room with both Paul and Tyson, gloves signed by both fighters, a private green room with a top-shelf open bar and all-exclusive food menu, a post-fight in-ring photo op with the group of 10, a penthouse suite for all 10 guests to stay into for 2 nights, transportation throughout the stay, and other VIP perks and gifts. $2 million is what it'll cost you. That'd be a nice little gift. And actually, if you split it between 10 people, I think you'd be okay, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you could split it up.
Or put it on a credit card.
Put it on your card, earn some points. That would be the way to go. I want to tell you about New York Sash. Right now, it is the final days of their... do I have them on my list today? No, I think the sale's over. Maybe it's still going on. We'll have to find out. Screw that. I'm not going down that road. Sorry. Sorry. I can tell you, though, Collis Hardware, Fred F. Collis & Sons Heating, Cooling, and Insulation, they have you completely covered with all of these new programs that are out there. Some have been around. Some are brand new. NYSERDA, Empower Plus program, plus others, really working to try to make sure people in New York are energy efficient. You could get between $5,000 and $24,000 without a match, no out-of-pocket cost, to help you upgrade your home and make it more energy efficient. Collis has the programs. They're well-versed on all of it. You call them. They'll walk you through the entire process. And they'll also do a free home energy audit for you that is free, which is why we call it the free home energy audit. They'll show you where you might be losing money. Could be an old refrigerator, bad light bulbs. Could be poor insulation in the home. There's no purchase necessary, no obligation whatsoever, but it'll give you an idea of what you can plan on and where you can improve the efficiency of your home. We had this done at our house, and we trust in Collis. They do a tremendous job. Call them today, 315-860-1301. Fred F. Collis & Sons, Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
We're your neighbors, friends, and your family. We care about our community, your business, and most important, you.
We support charities like the United Way, McMahon Ryan Child Advocacy Center. We are the members of IBEW Local 43 and NECA Contractors. You don't just see our work, you live it. From the JMA Wireless Dome, hospitals, schools, and city buildings, the IBEW is part of the community.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
Years ago, my mother had a problem with her heating. She was charged almost $200 just to change a battery. I'm Jen, and at Standard Heating, Cooling, and Insulating, we won't do that. Standard developed our free service program. If we can fix it in under an hour and no parts are needed, it's completely free. Half of our service calls are free because they are easy fixes. Our experienced technicians are the best in the business and are ready to help you. Standard Heating, Cooling, and Insulating. We promise to save you money. Call us today at 315-859-6292.
Our nation is at a crossroads. In Albany, John Mannion and Kathy Hochul support radical policies like cashless bail, which releases violent criminals back into our communities. Worse, John Mannion and Kathy Hochul support defunding the police, taking officers and equipment off of the streets when we need them the most. Now, Mannion's running for Congress, threatening to take Hochul's terrible ideas to Washington, D.C. There's a better choice. Navy veteran Brandon Williams. A former nuclear submarine officer, Brandon Williams has a new mission, defending Central New York from the Hochul-Mannion agenda. Unlike John Mannion, Brandon Williams knows how to keep our families safe. In Congress, he's secured millions for local law enforcement, giving cops the tools they need to keep violent criminals behind bars. On or before November 5th, vote for Navy veteran Brandon Williams for Congress.
I'm Brandon Williams, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Brandon for NY 22.
Okay then, low miles, real cream puff. Sign here, drive off.
I'd like to read the fine print.
Don't bother, miss.
Mrs. You'd be surprised what you find in the fine print. Like that Prop 1 that's on the ballot.
Equal rights? We love them here at Ace Auto.
Only Prop 1 isn't about equal rights. It's about special rights for illegal immigrants.
Say what?
It's in the fine print. You can read it on the ballot. Under Prop 1, national origin gets constitutional protection.
Huh. That means...
I do my own research.
I noticed.
Well, critics say Prop 1 could block local efforts to deal with the migrant crisis and give illegals a constitutional right to taxpayer benefits. Prop 1 could even open the door for non-citizens to vote here.
Okay, I'm sold. I'm voting no on Prop 1. It's a clunker.
Paid for by Vote No on Prop 1 Committee. Vote no on prop1.org.
Joe Griffo is there when we need him. No matter how big or small the issue, Joe makes a difference. He has the clout in Albany to get things done, and that's huge for all of us. As Assistant Minority Leader, Joe's helped secure over $1 billion for roads, bridges, and schools, and investments like the Odd, Wynn Hospital, and high-tech jobs at Griffiths and Marcy. We're coming back because Joe Griffo has our back. This fall, vote to re-elect Senator Joe Griffo because Joe gets things done.
This is Senator Joe Griffo, and our recent progress is amazing. But there's so much more to be done to keep the momentum going, whether it's delivering critical aid for infrastructure and schools or supporting small business. I'll keep the pressure on Governor Hochul and the New York City majority to reverse our dangerous bail laws and to stop the flow of illegal immigrants. It's time to give law enforcement the tools that they need to keep us safe. I'm Senator Joe Griffo. I appreciate your support, and I'm asking for your vote. Paid for by Friends of Joe Griffo 2024.
Well, I'll take
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, portions of the program today brought to you by Tony's in Washington Mills and their unbelievably wonderful buffet. It's an Italian buffet with a ton of food, all great stuff from pastas to greens to sausage and peppers. They have a full-service buffet: Virginia ham, pork tenderloin, chicken cacciatore, and really wonderful homemade desserts that are made every day fresh. They have a salad cold table offering a variety of cold pastas and fruit and homemade desserts, all along with soups. It's so good. It's a great buffet. You can use it for dinner or eat it for lunch. You can call ahead. They will put everything together and bring it to your workplace for you.
Wow.
Whether it's for you or for 10 people, whatever. $15.95 a person, $9.99 for kids 5 to 10. Under 5 are free.
I love the idea of
Tony's in Washington Mills Italian buffet.
Desserts at the buffet.
Hold on, Davey wants to give his thumbs up or what?
Yeah, I went Friday.
Okay.
I usually go 2 days a week, and I went Friday, and it was spectacular. Frank does a good job over there. Awesome. I had the roast pork and the ham and stuffed shells he had, and
plenty of whatever it is you want.
Yeah,
So
it was
good.
awesome.
Yeah. All right, Andrew, what do you have there, Derminio?
Here is a read from Clinton. This is in response to Rocky's comment regarding Griffo and legislation and downstate Democrats. Reed says the comment that Griffo should attribute investments in the area to, quote, the benevolence of downstate Democrats, end quote.
We wouldn't get a penny without a fight.
Right.
There's no downstate. All they do is whine and complain that they give us money, and that it takes a lot of work and clout to be able to get us where we are. I got to tell you, look at the hospital, the Nexus. The improvements at the Odd, you forget about that. The arterial improvements, stuff that's gone into Marcy, all the things that have happened in Rome and at Griffiths. I mean, it's just incredible when you look at how much money has been invested in this area to allow us to turn everything around.
Yeah.
And Joe's a big part of that, major part of that.
Reed goes on.
Oh, sorry, Reed.
The comment that Griffo should attribute investments to the area to the benevolence of downstate Democrats is farcical, and perhaps the commentator should study our region's recent history. The nearly $2 billion of investment that have occurred in the area, for example, as you said, Bill, Hospital, Bull Speed, Quad C, the Odd, etc., took place when Republicans were in the majority. It is worth noting Griffo has had legislative successes in the minority as well, but as it pertains to Wynn and other investments cited, the commentator either has a poor memory or is intentionally misleading the listening public.
And the other part of this is you have Brindisi, who was an assemblyman, a Democrat, Mary Ann, who's done a great job getting money to be pushed into the area. And let's not forget Roanne DeStito has played a role in all of this.
Yep.
Right down to, I was looking at the numbers, the investments that Brian Miller has brought into the area. It's about working together and getting stuff done for your region, and I think we're very lucky to have representatives that are doing that. What happens today, I don't know, but I think do we want to make predictions on today?
I think the listeners should. 315-736-0186.
What do you think is going to happen today? 315-736-0186. I will tell you the congressional race. Boy, that could go. That could. Everybody's discounting Brandon Williams. I would say be careful of that.
Do you think
Mannion should win based on the makeup of the district? Mannion should win by a comfortable margin.
It'll come down to turnout?
I don't know. Oneida County plays a big role here.
Yeah.
So could Madison County.
Do you think the Republicans take the Senate?
I believe so. Yeah. I think that's pretty much a given. The House, I don't know what's going to happen.
Grabs. Yeah. It'll be interesting. 315-736-0186. Give us your predictions.
There is the race between Esposito and Marianne Buttonshaw.
Yes, Brian Miller and Adrien Martini.
Although we will speak with her for the first time coming up in a little while.
Better late than never, I guess.
Any prediction on Marianne versus Esposito?
Wow. This one, I think, is going to be one of the closer ones. I honestly don't think the Griffo-Myers race will be close. But this Esposito-Buttonshaw campaign is very, I think, a toss-up, very much so. We don't really know much about Christine Esposito.
Well, I find it very interesting that of all the commercials they ran, and they've run a lot of commercials, there was never one to introduce Esposito to everybody.
Congressional race-esque in the negativity.
Yeah, but even the congressional race has something that showed there's a positive spot on Williams. There's a positive spot on Mannion.
Yeah.
Here there was no positive on Esposito, no introduction. They just kept trying to and somebody told me the other day, well, you know, the idea is they just flood the market with negative and get their Republican vote out, and it'll all come together. I don't know. I don't know that necessarily works in this district, but we'll find out, won't we?
Yes, we will.
Brian Miller. I think Brian has done a great job. I personally like Brian and think that he will be reelected. Obviously, we're going to speak with Adrien Martini. She is a Democrat from down Oneonta way.
Yeah, and
so you may see some support there as they want to try to bring someone in who is from there. But listen, I think Brian wins that easily.
Here's Lance and Lee commenting. Here's the Lance from Lee election predictions for today.
Okay.
All Republicans and conservatives will win other than Williams, including Trump at the national level. You probably don't remember last year, but I was perfect in my predictions, including both mayors.
So I do think the one he's talking about is Marianne Buttonshaw and Esposito. I think that is going to be close.
Yep.
I do think it'll be close. Davey, do you want to add any of it? He's cast his votes. And in that race, you voted for Marianne Buttonshaw.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Okay, I have Bill. Is it Bill on Election Day here? Hello, William.
Yeah, Bill German. I'm past president of the Oneida County Federated Sportsmen's Clubs and also past president of the Oneida Lake Association.
All right. Well,
how's it going, sir?
Welcome, Your Honor.
Hi. I want to speak. Something's been missed. I just want to put a word in for 3 local people that are running that have been very good supporting the efforts and concerns of the sportsmen and sportswomen in Oneida County and Region 6 here. One would be Marianne Buttonshaw.
Okay.
She's been outstanding. And the other one would be Joe Griffo. He's always there for us. And the other one's Brian Miller. He attends many of the meetings. They are great. If you're a sportsman or you go fishing, hunting, trap, any of that stuff, you're a target shooter, you should make sure you vote, and you vote for all 3 of them. And also, think about Second Amendment. It's very easy. If you're a sportsman, if you hunt and fish, it's very easy. Second Amendment, you got to go with Trump.
All right.
And I got one last word, passing word.
Okay.
Yeah, so anyways, the Gervin family, there's like 23 of us still alive around the country. This will be the 3rd time that Trump ran. Every single time we've voted for Trump.
So you would call yourself a Trumpster.
Yeah, I'm a Trumpster. I'll tell you what. Hey, when I'm going to vote, I got one of those vests. I got one of those vests. I'm going to wear it with a red shirt.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to New York. So anyway, Bill, thank you so much, and good luck with your battling cancer. Thank you so much.
Guy. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
We'll be looking for you in the vest today, wearing the vest.
Call us up. Give us your opinions.
You can plug away for whoever you want to plug away for. Who do you want to see win? This has been a long haul.
Yes, it is.
I mean, I just, there were moments where you're like, man, I last night just watching TV, it is political commercial after political commercial, one after the other. Let me take a few calls on it coming right up. We'll break first, though.
I'm James Myers, candidate for state senate. Growing up, we didn't have much, like a lot of families who work hard to get by here in the Mohawk Valley. I joined the Army so that I could afford college, but service to our country taught me so much more. Like how important it is to keep our communities safe, to fully fund our police departments and emergency services, especially in rural areas. When I came home from active duty, I cared for my mom while she battled cancer. It was frustrating and complicated to get the care she needed. I wouldn't wish that struggle on anyone while they are also fighting for their life. I know our region badly needs better health care. I learned the value of service from the Army and the difference it can make in people's lives. And that's why I'm running for state senate. To serve the people, to work hard to make your life a little easier, a little safer. I'd be honored to have your vote. Paid for by friends of James Myers.
Lights, camera, music. Sunday, November 10th, the Rome Capitol Theater presents Guitars Along the Mohawk. The afternoon concert begins at 1. A lineup of your favorite local acoustic musicians will perform their original songs for a television production. Guitars Along the Mohawk, Sunday, November 10th at the Rome Capitol Theater. Complete details on the Guitars Along the Mohawk Facebook page and online at RomeCapitol.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
I was craving some hot soup. I didn't know where to go.
Every time I think that I'm the only one who's lonely, someone calls on.
And then along came Daylight Donuts.
Daylight Donuts!
So Daylight Donuts, the soup of the day, soup du jour today, is beef barley.
Ooh,
it's hot and toasty and perfect for election day. Daylight Donuts, the best coffee. You'll get, of course, the avocado toast on French peasant bread is just so good. All of the pumpkin spices and the holiday type, the donuts, that sour cream donut is so good. Apple cider donuts, all of those,
so good.
All there, made fresh every day at Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Also want to tell you, in Herkimer County, there's so much to do, so many things. Go to experienceherkimercounty.com for details. For instance, there is the 31st annual Diamond Valley Classic Martial Arts Tournament coming up on November 16th on German Street in Herkimer. It'll be held at the Herkimer High School, and this is the 31st annual. Great event to check out. And how about this happening on November 25th? It's a bit of a ways away. But at Fratello's Pizzeria, they have Just Joe coming up in November. Acoustic, wonderful acoustic music. Fratello's does music all the time. Check their schedule at their website. You're looking for something to do in Herkimer County, there's plenty.
Oh, yeah.
It is going on in Herkimer County. All right, couple of calls. Tom in New Hartford. Hello, Tom. Good morning.
Hello, Bill.
Oh, hello,
Wait a second. I'm doing
Tom.
an imitation there. Yeah, well, if what is Miss Harris's real married name? What's I wonder what you call her. Oh, okay.
Emhoff, I think she's married to Doug Emhoff.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, Emhoff. Okay, if Mrs. Emhoff happens to win, that's a little jing that nobody's picking up.
Nobody's jumping on that.
If she happens to win, we'll see whether there are riots in D.C. like there were when Trump won and the Democrats rioted. I don't think we'll get to see how Republicans could take a potential loss. I hope by high heaven that Mrs. Emhoff does not win.
Well, Tom, can I just ask? Did you forget about January 6th? I mean,
no, that's a comparison.
I mean, to be fair, there's been bad actors on both sides, and let's hope no matter who wins, that none of that happens. Right? None of it.
Absolutely. Well, to give you a comparison. The practitioners of Islam are wonderful, peaceful people, but a lot of folks tar the entire group as being crazy loons because of the bad actors within it.
Sure.
And we've got to make sure that we separate those two. But onward and upward. Get out and vote if you haven't done it already.
All right.
And we'll be looking forward to a peaceful transfer of power, and I mean a real big transfer, coming up in January.
Okay.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, Tom, I wonder what you're voting for.
We have no idea. Sure. He did not show his cards.
Rocky?
Yeah, well, take a wild one. I met Donald Trump for the first time in 2000, the first time that he made a run for president. We went down to Hartford and we kind of vetted him, a bunch of us from the Independence Party, and we wound up choosing Pat Buchanan, who was a wonderful candidate. We went out to Long Beach and nominated him, and the first black woman to ever be nominated for the higher of the two offices. That was Isola Foster. So
Isola,
there, guys. Yeah.
All right, Tom.
Thank you. With Ebola, but I don't like that.
All right.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Rocky in Utica commenting yet again.
I think we're being sarcastic when we said we didn't know he was voting for.
Of course, yes.
Okay, I was just checking.
Rocky in Utica, Republicans in NY have no chance to win the majority in the Senate or Assembly. This means that they will have no power to influence spending in our area. Griffo will be allotted a fraction of the money that Myers would receive. You may not like this system, but it is a fact. Myers will have influence in Albany. Griffo has none.
That's just, first of all, that could not be further from the truth. It's just not the case. But, I'm not, I don't want to, all right, fine, you get to have your opinion, whatever. Apparently we're in a free country. These people have their opinions, but that's just not true. 315-736-0186. Let me let Cordelia respond to that. Hi, Cordelia.
Cordelia, good morning.
How do you respond to that on Griffo having zero influence?
Well, that was the subject I was going to bring up.
Okay.
He has got a great reputation. He has got clout. He has got connections. And what we do not need in this area with all the problems we're having, on-the-job training.
Right. Well, there is
it's an interesting point.
To lose seniority in Albany would be a huge. I don't care if he's sitting on the lap of Kathy Hochul. To lose that seniority that Griffo has built up would be a huge mistake. And I'm with Cordelia here.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's just it would be a travesty.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Anything else?
I want everybody who's listening to me and comes up to me and says, "I hear you on the radio. I want you to go out and vote for Joe." Thank you.
All right. Okay,
vote
Cordelia.
for Joe.
Thank you, Cordelia. Here is Gordon. Gordon, good morning. You're on the radio.
Good morning, Bill. How you guys doing this morning?
Good. What do you have?
Great. I'd just like to give a little bit of speech on the other side.
Okay.
And in regards to Trump, he can't seem to commit enough crimes to be considered a criminal. He can't say enough stupid things to be stupid. The idea of him overshadows any reality. And the Christian Savior who doesn't know the Bible, the adulterer who sleeps with stars and steals from charities. It's the promise of the whiteness he represents. My vote is for Harris. But when all said and done, we all have to coexist in a community together.
Do you think we can, Gordon?
I really do. I do. I exist in a very red area.
Yeah.
My local community, I often engage in conversations with people from both sides.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. We have to move forward. It's been a long 10 years, I guess 9 years. But it'd be nice to put him to bed. And unfortunately, he'll probably spend most of the rest of his life in jail, but we'll see how that all plays out.
We'll see how it plays
let
out.
the phones ring. There you go, Bill.
Okay, well, thanks for that, Gordon. You just screwed my morning up terribly.
Gordon,
thanks for calling in, buddy.
Equal time.
All right, you're right. Opinion is so important. I truly believe that. Okay, Tammy, stand by. I'm going to get to you. There's another one I'm going to get to also, but first I want to bring in Adrien Martini.
Oh, can we break first?
She is, you want me to break?
Yes, please.
Adrien Martini is the Democratic candidate for Assembly, and she's running against Brian Miller. Adrien, good morning.
Good morning.
Can you stand by? I'm told I have to take a break.
I sure can.
I'm the bad guy, Adrien. I'm sorry.
Apparently, we have
That's all right.
No
worries.
We got to pay for our hefty salaries here. Stand by.
Oh my God, that's funny.
We'll get right to you here. Stand by.
This is how it works. Kathy Hochul can't pass anything without Assembly yes votes. Billions in tax dollars to illegals. Marianne Button-Shawn voted yes. Keeping criminals out of jail. Marianne Button-Shawn voted yes. Banning gas stoves in the future. Marianne Button-Shawn voted yes. The reason so much doesn't work for us is that Marianne Button-Shawn is a vote for Kathy Hochul. It's time to vote for our needs. Vote Christine Esposito for Assembly.
Paid for by friends of Christine Esposito.
Have you been thinking about buying a new hot tub or spa? Now is the time. Liverpool Pool and Spa has a large selection of American-made spas and hot tubs. Enjoy year-round for both relaxation and hydrotherapy. Fast delivery and installation available, as well as local service and support long after the sale. Financing options also available for qualified buyers. Stop into the Rome location today on 1501 East Dominic Street in Rome, or visit liverpoolpoolandspa.com for more information. Don't just dream it, live it.
I'm James Myers, candidate for state senate. Growing up, we didn't have much, like a lot of families who work hard to get by here in the Mohawk Valley. I joined the Army so that I could afford college, but service to our country taught me so much more. Like how important it is to keep our communities safe, to fully fund our police departments and emergency services, especially in rural areas. When I came home from active duty, I cared for my mom while she battled cancer. It was frustrating and complicated to get the care she needed. I wouldn't wish that struggle on anyone while they are also fighting for their life. I know our region badly needs better health care. I learned the value of service from the Army and the difference it can make in people's lives. And that's why I'm running for state senate, to serve the people, to work hard to make your life a little easier, a little safer. I'd be honored to have your vote. Paid for by friends of James Myers.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Keeler in the Morning invites you to connect with us through telephonic communication at 315-736-0186, or use the Call Us button on the WIBX 950 app. For additional contact methodologies, please refer to WIBX950.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, Tammy, stand by. Steve, stand by. I'm going to get right to you. I did want to take a couple of minutes with Adrien Martini. We did want to squeeze her in as we were unable to get her on earlier. Adrien is running for the Assembly against Brian Miller. She is a Democrat. Good morning, Adrien. Tell us why people should be voting for you here.
Okay. So I live down in Oneonta. I've been on the Otsego County Board for the last 4 terms, so I have a lot of local government experience, and I know what our localities and smaller communities are struggling with.
And what are we struggling with? What are our communities struggling with?
So what we're struggling with is not quite enough attention from Albany, or the attention that we get just keeps piling on things that we need to do without actually giving us any real support to do it. One example that I like to point to are school buses. So there's a whole population of kids who have special needs, need to get to schools. We need to find a way to bus them there. And in larger counties that are more rural, that can be an incredibly expensive proposition.
Yeah.
Our bill went up $1.2 million over the last year, and we have no additional funding to cover it. So we have to figure out where we're going to pull it from.
What do you think of the mandate to go electric, all electric?
What do I think of it? I like the kind of concept behind it, but I don't know practically how we're going to get it done. It's a lot of buses. Some of our bus routes are incredibly long, and I don't know that we have the range to cover them.
Where do you stand on, if I could, on bail reform and raise the age?
On bail reform and raise the age? Well, I mean, over the last, since it passed, we keep, or rather Albany keeps going in and kind of tinkering with it. And again, I think it's one of those ideas that are, it's a good idea behind it.
Would you have voted against?
I don't know that we've worked.
Yeah. Would you have voted against it?
I don't know, frankly.
Okay.
I think we don't have the details quite right yet. I think there has been, I think we all agree that people shouldn't be held unless they're actually convicted. But I don't know that we've worked out all the details.
I have somebody asking here, where are you on the Second Amendment?
I have no problem with guns, with hunting. I do have a problem with folks having guns who are then going to take those guns into a school.
Okay, fair enough. And one final plea, if you could, and I apologize because we're really tight on time today, but one final plea to the voters out there on why you believe they should vote for you instead of Brian Miller.
Well, I mean, it's not so much a plea. I have a background of getting things done for the people of Otsego County, and I would also like to work for the people in the 122nd.
All right. Love your last name, by the way. I'm just
thank you. Thank you. I come from a long line of Italians who look like Danny DeVito. So.
Okay. Well, you'd fit right in here. Adrien Martini, good luck, and we'll see what happens after this. Thanks so much.
Just go vote. That's all I ask.
Thank you.
Thank
good
you.
point. That's a good point.
It is a good point. Tammy is on the line on the election, and then I'll break after these two calls. And then we'll take some more. Hi, Tammy. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning.
First of all, I want to say I'm Team Joe. Okay, so go Joe, and I hope he wins.
Joe Griffo.
I was going to say Biden. I don't think he's in the race anymore.
No, Joe Griffo. Joe Griffo.
Yes.
I just want to give you a quick demographics. I'm over 55, female, educated, and I'm a registered independent.
Okay.
And I have voted both sides. So I'm the person who does my research, being nonpartisan. I'm listening to all sides, all stations, reading everything.
Yeah.
And I just want the people to remember two things. Okay, two things. One, our economy for the past, up until recently, the past couple of years, is a supply and demand. It's not a Trump versus Biden. It's a COVID hit. That factory shut down. People lost their jobs. Supplies weren't being made. And so by the time they got things up and running, yes, it's a supply and demand. If you have a low supply and a high demand, things are going to be high. It took a couple of years. And it doesn't matter who. Trump got out in the beginning, but it doesn't matter who was in there. It's a supply and demand, simple economics. Second thing, with Harris, it's an air in the spare. People want to say, well, she didn't do anything. She didn't do this. Well, no, it's like William and Harry. You know what I'm saying? Like, the vice president really, truly doesn't have a lot of control or a lot of power. They can't allocate money from Congress. They can't go to Congress and say, I want money. They can't veto. They don't. I mean, I don't want to say they're a figurehead. They're more than that. But she didn't really have a lot of power. So I think that people need to really read and not be partisan. That's the thing. People get so locked into one side, and as an independent, I'm not.
Okay.
I will read and I will be objective about everything, and I think people should do more of that. And that's what I had to say this morning.
Okay, Tammy.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate it, and good luck. Have you voted yet? or will you be voting
I'm
today?
going right now.
All right. Well,
There
thanks
you go.
for
Enjoy
for following
Have a
through
great
on
day.
the vote. Okay, thank you. I have Steve over here on elections. Good morning, Steve. You're on the radio.
How you doing, Bill?
Good.
Good. Well, nobody has to worry about any election results tonight or tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
Or next week.
Bold prediction.
This election is not going to be completed and certified for 8 to 12 weeks. We're not going to know. We're not going to know who's going to be in power for 8 to 12 weeks.
You think it's going to take that long?
That's a long time.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's going to take a long time because there's a lot of things that are happening.
If someone could finally tell me, because I keep getting these hints of it's coming, boom, 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 boom. What is happening? Could you explain?
Well, what's happening is there's been a lot of people doing a lot of dirty deeds behind the scenes for a long time. And a lot of people don't realize how complex our election system is.
Sure.
And I'll take, for instance, Los Angeles County. Los Angeles County has the most voting precincts and school districts and everything. And you could have 500 or 600 different unique ballots printed for California, okay, for the Los Angeles County.
Well, depending on who's running the local races.
Right. Because all the down ballot stuff changes the ballot that's in any given, precinct. So, what's coming is they've been watching these people for 8 years, and everything's going to come to a head. And I believe that all the criminal activities that have been happening, and it's not just one party or the other.
Okay.
It's all the dirty dogs in politics.
Okay.
That's going to be coming to a head, and when you look at there's 495,104 sealed federal indictments on the books right now, when typically there's only like maybe 15 to 1,800.
Okay. All right.
So what we need to be looking for in the next 8 to 12 weeks is what happens with these people who are going to jail, okay, and what they go to jail for. And a lot of them are going to be going to jail for election fraud.
Who are these people?
Just your random minions that are in the political process, and they're willing to sell their soul to get whatever party or candidate.
So you don't trust, but you feel there's some a higher power. The government is going to go in and nail all of these bad actors all at once in this election.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Who are you voting for, by the way?
At which race?
Well, I was thinking the presidential race.
Well, I'm voting for Donald Trump for president, and but it really, at the end of the day, it's not going to matter because this election here is going to have to be redone start to finish, and but we have to know, and we have to understand how any individual group cheated through this election, so that we can finally fix our elections and get voter ID, because you need an ID to do anything else in life, okay? But the most important thing, you have people. 80% of Americans, they say, want voter ID.
Yeah.
I think you should have to provide ID
to get to vote. All right. Well, I think to register, right? We register. I think we have a pretty good system. I completely disagree with you, Steve. That I know you're not surprised by that. I think we will know pretty soon, like even possibly tonight, who wins the presidency. But let's see what happens. Let's see your prediction, and we'll talk afterwards. All right.
Okay, we'll see whose age is better.
We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you in 8 to 12 weeks.
Well, it might even be before that. All right, Stephen. Thank you.
I'll call back. I'll call back in and.
All right, please do.
I'll take my steak dinner.
All right, I'll give you a steak dinner if you're right. I love it. All right, done
All right.
deal. You heard it here
I'll
first.
If I'm wrong, I'll buy you a steak dinner.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you, Stephen. Thank you. Quick break, and we're coming right back here to wrap it up. Is that what you want me to do?
Or go to that time.
Oh, I can do that. Okay. Tom is back. Hi, Tom. Go ahead. Yeah, you want me to take him? Yes. Quickly, Tom. I'm almost out of time.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, voter ID is hard to pull off, but it's better than nothing. Checking a face on a driver's license is a tough thing to do with the space of time you have to process it. In Mexico, they use retinal scans
for their elections.
Yes, sir. And I have had one fellow here from Mexico who was who ran the night audit as the night auditor of the Marriott. He said that in Mexico, your voter ID card is your most valuable possession.
All right. On that note, let's see what today brings. Thank you, Tom.
Okay.
All
Take
right.
care. Bye-bye.
And I do wish everybody a good day out there voting. You're not going to be able to complain about the weather and say, well, it was crappy out. I couldn't
go out. Yeah.
I could not do it because this is just beautiful. 75 degrees today. And how do you beat it? A couple things I want to tell you about. Let's start with Sarah's Flooring Outlet. If you need flooring, there's only one place to go. It's in Sarah's Flooring Outlet. They are the experts when it comes to flooring. Whether it's Pergo Extreme by Mohawk, where you know you're getting the absolute best price, or you're getting carpeting or tile, hardwoods, whatever type of flooring there is, the selection is incredible. It is the largest inventory in all of Central New York. Check them out at sarahsflooringoutlet.com or visit the store. Get 6 months interest-free financing, Route 49 Plaza River Road in Marcy. And Mazda has been winning races and building award-winning vehicles for years. And right now, Ricky Z says, come in and try the new 2024 CX-30 SE. You can get it for $269 a month on a 36-month lease or buy it with 0% APR financing. As Rick says, come in. Let's make your deal on a new Mazda where it's always easy to do business. Steve Ponte Mazda. Commercial Drive in Yorkville. News coming up next. Happy voting today and good luck.
Let's set the record straight with Marianne Buttonshot. 1. Despite attack ads against her featuring childish cartoons with lies and inappropriate distortions, she has refused to get mean and dirty. 2. Despite what you might have been told, she does not rubber stamp any politician, including the governor and New York City elites. She works with members of both parties, and she's fought to bring over $100 million to the Mohawk Valley. And 3, she's absolutely against taxpayer dollars being handed over to politicians so they can run for office. Her opponent took over $120,000 in taxpayer funds, much of it used to distort Marianne's record. And how much did Marianne take? 0, because she believes it's wrong. Assemblywoman Buttonshot supports our businesses, first responders, and veterans, a career educator delivering to all schools, and she's a farmer who supports other farmers. Vote for Marianne. Paid for by friends of Marianne Buttonshot and not the taxpayers of New York State.
I'm James Myers, candidate for state senate. Growing up, we didn't have much, like a lot of families who work hard to get by here in the Mohawk Valley. I joined the Army so that I could afford college. But service to our country taught me so much more. Like how important it is to keep our communities safe, to fully fund our police departments and emergency services, especially in rural areas. When I came home from active duty, I cared for my mom while she battled cancer. It was frustrating and complicated to get the care she needed. I wouldn't wish that struggle on anyone while they are also fighting for their life. I know our region badly needs better health care. I learned the value of service from the Army and the difference it can make in people's lives. And that's why I'm running for state senate, to serve the people, to work hard to make your life a little easier, a little safer. I'd be honored to have your vote. Paid for by friends of James Myers.
Have you been thinking about buying a new hot tub or spa? Now is the time. Liverpool Pool and Spa has a large selection of American-made spas and hot tubs. Enjoy year-round for both relaxation and hydrotherapy. Fast delivery and installation available, as well as local service and support long after the sale. Financing options also available for qualified buyers. Stop into the Rome location today on 1501 East Dominic Street in Rome, or visit liverpoolpoolandspa.com for more information. Don't just dream it, live it.
I'm James Myers, candidate for state senate. Growing up, we didn't have much, like a lot of families who work hard to get by here in the Mohawk Valley. I joined the Army so that I could afford college, but service to our country taught me so much more. Like how important it is to keep our communities safe, to fully fund our police departments and emergency services, especially in rural areas. When I came home from active duty, I cared for my mom while she battled cancer. It was frustrating and complicated to get the care she needed. I wouldn't wish that struggle on anyone while they are also fighting for their life. I know our region badly needs better health care. I learned the value of service from the Army and the difference it can make in people's lives.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Americans who didn't vote early are doing it now. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The polls are open in all or parts of 44 states, including all the battleground toss-ups, like Pennsylvania, where this voter went for former President Trump.
I mean, it's the only option, because if we go the other way, then I don't even want to talk about what's going to happen.
The former president held rallies in Pennsylvania and in North Carolina before the final Trump rally early this morning in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Kamala has delivered soaring prices and true economic anguish at home, war and chaos abroad.
He'll vote in Florida later today. Vice President Harris is among the 82+ million Americans who already voted early.
America is ready for a fresh start.
That was at the last Harris rally late last night in Philadelphia.
Ready for a new way forward where we see our fellow American not as an enemy, but as a neighbor.
Now, also on the ballot today, control of Congress.
Fox News Power Rankings have 22 seats in the House that are up for grabs, ranked as toss-up, many of those in New York and California. Democrats are hoping that Republicans blow their ground game and that Democrats can pick up enough